to mention his name at a gathering like this. His first name is Ato, and his surname is Pan. So I'm sure you've heard of him. He's into comedy and he's all over the internet. But I mean, very strong in the things of God. When we were coming, he was telling me about the medication. We were discussing what we were bringing. And then he came out with a wonderful idea. Every year, at least on 4 occasions, Go Fields procures medicines from him to use for similar programs in Tapa. So he's promised that for every batch that we buy, he will also buy a few and keep. By the time we get to December, he would have so many boxes to bring to us. So thank you very much. And so that is my very good friend. Yes. Leadership is what we are being led to talk about. At least how many of you are in tertiary institutions? Please show by hand. Only 2 here. 1 here. Okay, quite a number here. How many of you are in a secondary institution? Secondary. Or JHS? Good. How many of us are doing some kind of vocational job, trade, whatever? They are working somewhere. Okay, how many of us are not doing anything? They are not working. We are in school. How many of us are like that? Hey, no amount all right, thank you. I just want to understand my audience before I know what to delve into. There's this line in the Presec anthem. To take our places in the future of our country and church. So it goes like, for Christian training we get a sure solid foundation to take our places in the future of our country and church. I've been singing this anthem when I was in school, after and all that. It was only recently when we had our homecoming and we had to sing it again, 25 years after school, that it actually hit me proper. So all along, this is why we've been singing. And the reason it hit me was that those of you who saw some of the videos, when we decided to go for the homecoming, we all gathered at a place and drove in a convoy. And I was just interacting with my colleagues. And somehow we have lived that line in the anthem that for the Christian training we get, which has been a sure, solid foundation for us. Already we've taken our places in the future of our country and church. At the event, I turned to my immediate right, and that was Bernard Okoboy, the former health minister. He was in Presec. I remember those intercolleges day, we would go to the stadium for the fun games, and he would still have a science textbook with him. Whilst we were doing the Jama, he would be hiding in the midst of the Jama reading the book. So we used to tease him a lot that he doesn't have a social life. But through that, he became health minister. A few seats after him sat Okudzeto Ablakwa, foreign affairs minister currently. He was president for Scripture Union when we were in Presec. He was just a year ahead of me. Then just across from where I sat was Spencer Quay, currently the board chairman for DVLA. And then the MC for the program was one Joy FM journalist, one of the best business journalists. Keep forgetting his name. Yes, he also. So I was just scanning through and saying, wow, indeed, we've taken some places in the future of this country and even in the church. And it doesn't happen by chance. You have to be deliberate about it. Bernard mentioned it, that I see the solemn atmosphere here today. It means Jamandra Mwanda. I'm sure you were led in some powerful prayers, and some of you don't want to talk too much this morning. You don't want the spirit to evaporate. Because we'll be steady. You don't feel the level now we do know. You don't want to come down. Yes, but the balance is very important. Stay there. As for the spiritual, stay there. Don't come down. But the balance is very ourselves to be led by people who are not led by God. Where is your spiritual life if you are led by someone who is not led by God? We live in a country where everything depends on somebody you know. So why aren't you making the person you know your colleague from West? Why is the person you know somebody you have to go and introduce yourself to? It should be somebody you know already. And who is that person? The one next to you. Yes. You should be seated by your next interviewer for that visa. It should be that person seated by you. When everybody is queuing, you should be able to make a call, and then at the car park, whatever you want is brought to you. Medru ho wen, oh me de brel. Yes, rather than being in the queue as well. There's nothing wrong with being in the queue. But if Christians, if children of God, if young men and women like us would be courageous enough and have the belief in ourselves that once we are led by God, we can also lead people and take up positions wherever we find ourselves. I believe this I'd like to touch on just a few of them for us to discuss, and then we can take questions from that. Why is it even important for young people to think about leadership? It is only now that the Constitutional Review Committee of Ghana is proposing that presidents could be 30 years. The current law is that 40 and above. But now they are proposing that 30 and above should be where it starts from. And if you listen to the radio, a lot of people are even kicking against it. At 30 years, you need me. Hey, are you sure? A life expectancy in Ghana for men is just about 70, less than 69 or 67 or yeah, 65. And women is a bit higher. So you mean when you are halfway through your life, you are still not qualified to lead? You're actually late. Yes, at 30, you are quite late. Gone are the days where you have to spend so many years in school. So by the time you are totally done, you are in your mid-20s, late 20s. Now we have teenagers with first degrees, teenagers who are not medical doctors. I mean, here, teenagers who are close to having their own professions. So your youth should not be a discouraging factor. The first reason why you should take up leadership is because you are young, not because being young shouldn't rather be a negative. It should be positive. Being young means you have the energy. Being young means you have what? The innovation. Being young means you have the ability to take risks. A leader who is afraid of taking a decision can never go anywhere. Whether a leadership, and what I'm talking about has nothing to do with political leadership. It has everything to do with every kind of leadership, from course rep to the pastor at church to the leader of the choir. Every aspect of life, the kind of qualities or tools that you need to help you lead effectively are the same. So your youth is very important to you, and you should cherish that because it comes with the energy, it comes with a Gen Z test for knowledge, where now technology is at your fingertips. If you ask somebody in their 40s now to take up leadership, in fact, I am elite. I understand Paul Biya, Cameroon, the one who was re-elected at 90 something years. I hear his minister in charge of youth development is in the 70s. The Obabe youth in the 70s. I don't think he knows what TikTok is. In the 70s, TikTok, and he's coming to lead people who are living their life on TikTok. Obedi who the policy to guide it. You understand? How can he even take advantage of it to reach out to people? The same message, if he stands before you and tells you, you might not listen. If he's able to put it on TikTok, share. But if you don't know it, you can't. So being youthful is very important. Now, I won't be chimney and I'm computers. Ura, please get the laptop for me, and then I'll look at a few things. So yes, apart from it, you being youthful and all that, if you are in school, the university or the campus environment, that secondary school, that environment offers you a good platform to try your skills and also make mistakes that may not hurt you for life. Oh no, it shouldn't even be, I mean, okay, this is fine. The university or the campus environment offers you the best platform. In fact, let's go around and mention, those of you in university, mention any position at all on your campus. Any position, from academic association to hall of residence to church to drama group. Me, I was drama and choreography president. Yes. when I used to dance. So mention any position that you know of on your campus. Did they are course rep? Did they mention any?
SRC president.
Yes, it started from the top. Yes, which one?
Women's Commissioner.
Women's commissioner. Hey, I know a guy who aspired to be women's commissioner. In fact, Kwabena Mensah Kandor, the current health minister, wanted to go for that position, but he didn't. Hall mentor. Powerful. Which other position do you know of? Hall president. Yes. Local NUC secretary, president. Okay.
Wine president.
Good.
Wine.
And then which one again?
Faculty president.
Faculty president. Recently, I got to know you even have speaker of parliament on some campuses, and you have chief of staff. And what university come here? You didn't have that. Yes, UCC parliament. I was part of it, but the speaker was an informal position. Currently, it is formal. When the SRC president is moving, the chief of staff is behind him. The speaker is also there. They call each other honorable. They have some sash that they put around their neck and all. We'll talk about all that. And country, and country, that is not leadership. We'll talk about that. That is totally not leadership at all. So, yes, you have the university campus offering you that unique opportunity to exercise whichever skills that you have. And as I said, we are so much afraid of making mistakes. That is why we don't take up leadership positions. Now we are making again, at that age, you could serve as catalyst for community development. What you are doing today, medical outreach. Yes. If you take up, you play leadership role, you volunteer for staff, you educate yourself in the skills of leadership. It offers you opportunity when you are home to volunteer for even community development. It gives you that confidence. You've done it on campus. You will be able to also say so. My friend Obi Amponsa cracked the joke recently. Said, "Oko SD sorry or US. He's based in US now. And while the pastor was preaching, somebody shouted at the back of the church. Or since there's a pastor, the pastor said, where they are, North Carolina or something, the Christians they are too comfortable. When you go up north, New York and all that, even when it's snowing, people do come to church. But North Carolina for normal religion, but that's what the pastor was saying. Then what did he say that somebody? Then somebody shouted, that is why you moved to this place yourself, right in the middle of the church set. I mean the preaching. If you ever say, hey, but quite that so SDA, I think Obama was so full patch of the kakra. But culture is different. You shout when the pastor is not even done. I said, and it wasn't just one. He said a lot of things that happened there, and that was like a culture shock for him. So that is that. We are afraid. We are brought up in such a way that the confidence to stand up, to put our hand up, is not there naturally in most families. Now it's changing. The new families, you allow your children to express themselves even when there are adults around. But first, now a child is supposed to be seen, not heard. For me, the one I still do is I tell my children my house is not a democratic place. I'm a dictator. So what I say, you must do. But you can say some. As for talking, they can talk, but they do in there. Maybe they're now there. So that is that. It also offers you the opportunity to learn accountability. We are so quick to jump for titles and so afraid to account. And it's not easy. It doesn't come naturally. Some people just assume that the position, I'm doing what is expected of me. So everybody should know that I have done my best. Leadership is not like that. Every decision, every step that you take, you must account for that stewardship. You must account for it. That this is what you tagged me with. This is how far I went with. And accountability is not just about money. It's about every responsibility that you are assigned with. So at this age, that is what would help you to practice some of those things. Ghanaian university students hold immense potential, influence social, economic, and political change. That is fine. Equipping for impact. Again, your environment now on your campuses also provide you opportunity to equip yourself with the right mindset and then the skills that you need. We will try to provide a framework that redefines what leadership is. Maybe I should go to that now. Modern leadership focuses on impact, purpose, and ethical influence rather than titles and authority. If you don't remember anything after this presentation, go with this statement. Modern leadership focuses on what? Impact, purpose, ethical influence, rather than titles and authority. So the Bible talks about servant leadership, right? Washing the feet of your disciples. That symbolizes how humble you are. That is the only, hello? Sure. The statement, right? So I said modern leadership focuses on impact, one, and two, purpose, three, ethical influence, rather than titles and authority. And the best, most tried and tested kind of leadership in every sphere of life is what we describe as servant leadership. A leader provides service. A leader is not served. If you get it wrong, you will fail. If I asked you to talk about your favorite politicians, 99% of you would mention politicians you see as humble, not those that you see as arrogant, no matter what development they bring to the country. Humility trumps everything. Humility trumps everything. And it is strange. I grew to, I learned that through experience that it doesn't come naturally to people. Yes, humility. You know the true color of a person when you give the person authority and when you put that person in a position of authority. Or especially the guys. Kakra me shana ta so a hwan na wo hu say whether is a humble human being or a different character altogether. And we are sometimes astonished. Oh, enya madam fina na sisi my friend na on fe. Yes, you are busier now than you used to be. But you are not busy for the whole year. See, oh, sorry, oh, last month I saw some missed calls be with your fat me. Every day, me say me free and I'm ready. I know say an emergency there by now, but what is saying? Hey, that conversation who we are, that person, he will go right there, oh, Papa with you, Papa with you, humble, Papa with you. Servant leadership. When I was hall president, we had water crisis in Nkrumah Hall, UCC. And there were level 100 students who were offering to go fetch water on the ground floor and bring to me at the top floor. And I was shocked. I was like, I made the one school say this year. By virtue of the fact that somebody, your equal B, has been made hall president, you feel it's your responsibility to go and fetch water and bring to my hall, my room. It is not right. And you're right. Where I work, if you're a national service person and you go and collect your boss's bag, say me the koto officer man. Hey, one here you with. Are you there to come and collect bags? We are the ones that make our leaders arrogant. We put them in positions, and then problems that they are supposed to come and solve, we eliminate them from the problem. As for you, you don't have to feel the problem anymore because you've been made a leader. Now, so how would he solve the problem? He doesn't feel it anymore. He doesn't feel the traffic jam anymore. We bought him V8. He doesn't feel the potholes anymore. Then you go around and say, only say, Oba one a woman yeah, we passed laws that allowed the people to just go. The same way everywhere. Go fails. When you service me, then in the morning you want to prepare tea for your boss. Is that why you are there? Especially the young ladies. We are too quick to assume a position of servitude to people that are in authority. And it happens. You get to the office at 7 a.m. You have the young guys coming in early, log onto the computer, and they are reading the reports that were put there several years ago to learn what the department is all about. The young ladies come, and then they want to go and talk to the boss whether the boss wants anything from the kitchen. Yes. Inti no akoye tea dia bre no. In fact, you, the boss who allows that, can get in trouble in Goldfields if you do that. Yes. Now, parking lot, yes, where a GM's parking lot, because it is the closest to the office block. If GM wants to walk a short distance, he should come early and park closer to his office. If I come early, I'm not GM, I can park there. If he comes late, he must go and park at a far place and walk. You can't go and ride there reserved. So we are teaching people there that leadership is about service. It's not about lording your position over others. And that is what we really need to imbibe in ourselves. There are countless examples of things we do that do not allow us to be good leaders. I also say that it's about impact. Always work whenever you are given a task as a leader or a leader who wants to put his vision across. Work from the vision, the impact story, backwards. Then you determine what steps you need to take to achieve the impact. Let me say that again. Don't start from point 1 or point A. Always start from the picture, the story you want to tell. Oh, I want to buy Benner's car, that type. No, the 2030 model. I want to buy it in 2030. Start from there. Don't start from Kaniefo. No, no. Start from the one you want and work back to where you are. That will guide you to know how to approach the impact. And that is a story you sell. This is what I want to give you. This is where I want to take the country. This is where I want to take the association. You have only 1 year as women in engineering president, right? Only 1 year term of office. What do you want to do? You saw Bernard's reaction when you mentioned it. It means people don't know about that association. So as the new incoming president, by the end of my tenure, or even though I have 1 year, you can say that my vision is that in the next 5 years, all industries in Ghana that do anything engineering should have heard about this association. That's the picture you want to leave in 5 years, though you have 1 year. Then you break it down. What do I need to do as the current president to make sure that in 5 years' time, every industry, mining, they do use engineers, construction industry, and all of them will come to know, oil and gas industry will come to know about the existence of a women in engineering association on university campuses. Then you see that no, I have only 1 year. This is a 5-year vision. What foundation can I lay in 1 year to make it impossible for the next person to deviate? So that the next person will also hit at it. Another person, so that in 5 years we get that. Let me just say that for my 1 year, I will build a database of all engineering companies in Ghana. It sounds like Ubayana Ubeka say me target and say I'll build a database. You yourself, you feel defeated. You think say enyeju maybe. So you're voting to officer. All you want to do is to get an Excel sheet with company names and their contacts. That's your target. And what will they do for us? But you have an impact story in mind, which is to let the industry know. So that impact is what you sell to people before you decide on what you can do, not alone, together with your team, and leave. You understand? Oh, I want to set up an alumni of this organization. Every lady engineer who has ever been a member after school, we want to know where they are. They can help propagate the information. So you are building that database. Once you explain it that way, at the end of your 1 year, if you are giving your report and you tell them that this is the vision for 5 years, as a first step, I have 1,000 companies listed. I have contacted 500 of them, and I have also planned a job fair that will happen not in under my tenure, but it will happen next year, where these people will come around and let you know what opportunities exist for women in engineering. You think your people will like that? You have set a path for them. You have told them the story. The vision is explained. So that is how you approach it. A leader must have that impact story, break it down to what they can do in their short span of life, what legacy they can leave behind. And that is what will let people remember that you were a leader once, and not the titles as we spoke about. Purpose. The one I mentioned, which I said is the most difficult, is about the ethical influence. I never do a presentation to young people without mentioning this. It pays to be honest. Don't be deceived by anyone that what. I had a quote I saw somewhere. The meek shall inherit the earth, right? And then it added that after the radicals are done with it. So you inherit the earth, but people believe that by the time you inherit as a meek person, the radicals would have, and it looks like it's true. Assassin and ISN with Galamsey, and those guys are making money. They are making a lot of money. In fact, I'll be using Benasky a lot of time. If you go to the Galamsey areas, Kaya, almost 20 years before we can afford them. I know guys younger than me who can buy it in a week because Galamsey normally they hit the gold, and immediately the money is so much that they don't even know what to do with it. They can just if it's sold for $1 million Ghana cedis and you tell them it's 1.5, they won't ask for discount. They will buy because at that time we got 10 million, and that 10 million in 1 week. They don't have a lot of them, not all of them. A lot of them don't have the financial training to know that hey, when you're away 1 week for the next 10 years, you might not get it. So invest in that, invest in that. So they blow it and they do that. So if you look at it, I think, me, papa na man say assassin. Me ye juma 20 years and sana me ti idea. But on no obum run so koye no 1 week why. So it may sound true that the meek would only inherit the earth after the radicals are done with it. Now we be inheriting earth now. Galamsey amena nkwa na also na gold na sa what the earth near. So that is what we always think. But I always use myself an example that in my professional career, I have learned that thing that it pays. It is more rewarding to be honest than to be unethical. And we as Christians must lead the charge. I get so sad and disappointed when I hear about scandals, financial scandals, and other scandals involving people that are men of God, people that are people of God. You get it? It is the number of people you push to doubt God. You can't imagine it. Just because of that 1 million cedis you took. The thousands of people who would say, Papa, when I no. Who said then the thing be no, sorry. You turn the work that our papas have done for like 5 years, you bring it to zero. People start to become unbelievers. And they use you as an example. No. Bonnie. Meaning the me until I mean sorry no. Na papa we dey me buni pa ma me dey me buni pa ni so no dey obeko se no no ye dia and dey nyina dey bi and dey heaven no. But I'm telling you that it is more rewarding financially because kakra wo benya no eson. It is rewarding socially because you have the respect of everybody. You do. At first, they will laugh at you with the quotes that I just quoted that the meek always inherit when the radicals are done with it. And I the one I do know and I see and say crack. You hear all those things. But if you stay true to your ethical principles, there is a way that you reap the benefits in many folds than just going with the masses. I gave an example recently of a young man who came wanting an opportunity to do graduate training in our company. And I've never seen any young man as arrogant and as entitled as that before. Ofi said, Owosika, for. So every door must open. And some of us are training to be like that. Because we have parents who sometimes even buy a pot for us. How? We hear it in the news where SHS kids come together to contribute money and give to a teacher that they do exams allow us to copy. And the teacher will take the money. And then if he's unable to do it after the exams, then you hear the kids on social media insulting the teacher. So, meaning that they actually believe that the act of contributing money to give to a teacher to allow them to cheat is holy. That's what they believe. They don't see it as wrong. Yes, because they rather see the teacher who failed to help as breaking a bond. It's teacher wrong. You are cheating in the exam. There's another person sitting somewhere whose life story is worse than yours. The school fees crowd they can, what cultural exams, when you chance and copy into all C's. One know what they will see copy when you're A. University in the when you chance, when a bra boy basa. You think you don't have a link to that guy's life being messed up? You have stolen an opportunity that belongs to somebody who needs it better than you. You've stolen it. When that person cries, will steal you. But anytime the person cries, that person's cry is always on your head. And then you'll be walking around and you stole somebody's opportunity. Yes.
It's made for some other people. Then can I have your number? I said, fine. Let me also not come across as being too difficult. This is my number. And the man. Then I went home after work. Around 8 p.m. I had a call. The number was very interesting, 0244 and a lot of zeros. And the head it was a PDB number. So I picked it and that person was a minister of state. Also I said, oh baby. Are you Mr. Razak? He said, yes. Oh, I'm so sorry. My small boy came to office today. You'll be back tomorrow. Just sort him out. After that, call me. This is my number. So I put off the phone that night and went to bed. Next morning, I was in the office. Around 10 a.m., the young man came again. Man, I'm so unlocking door behind him. Then I wanted to go full daddy mode, maybe tuneful, mentor, shake mode. Then I started and I said, please, the road now on Namson F. I mean, you can't use people to influence every decision for yourself. Scary examples. This work is even not, it's dangerous. We have safety issues in mining. You don't know why you walked into my office and at once they say, it's not for you. You are forcing. I know people who enter here and they lose legs. They do this. Maybe God is using me to tell you that, forget about this door, open another one. Went down with Kasaya and I thought I had reached him. But that was around 10 a.m. Around 4, then one of the chiefs in Abdel-Razak put me to me for my heavy. That's what another back.
Then the Nana also started. Oh, my boyfriend will say, I explained that and even added that the opportunity is for community people. It was a community, all the advice I gave him didn't land. He was thinking about how to enter the community. So Kotua is where they were entering. Note that you have a specific number of people who will pay from your community. If I give it to this young man, a minimum second year work Obia, Odina Mameda, no Onya. Sani Pali, you fit home. Obekasa. Come off for Betty, they will demonstrate another as I was so difficult. The Buana man or Casa, I may done as I may call something. Say, hey, Mammy Casano. See, I'm sure he took something from him and promised him. But in front of him, he was telling him, say, yeah, no, so I'm telling you this story to know that, first of all, he came on his own. It didn't work. He thought he could use political influence. It didn't work. Now, traditional authority, it also didn't work. In fact, he didn't. I don't know where he is now. But he could have only been that confident and had grown that attitude because of what he might have gone through as a kid growing up. Obi socializing. Emma who say life is all about knowing people and having money to bribe your way through. That person, or he will take shortcuts. Ethical behavior would not be forthcoming at all. So please, it is very, very rewarding to be ethical in your leadership journey. So we are redefining it. It is not about what you see now. It is about being focused, having impact in mind, and being ethical. I was talking about the secondary school and the university leaders who now have big titles. Again, the presex story. Those who saw the video, you saw the car that our SRC president, no, our school president. Yeah, but why saying? Accra only secondary school, just because of the beauty of it was identity. We got the best V8 for him and his chief of staff and everybody to sit at the back with the motorcade that day. And they were driving around campus and they came to the ceremony that way, where another student opened the door and they got up, and this young man was given a microphone to speak and he was quoting Latin. And whenever he quotes Latin, everybody will be clapping. I was at the high table, I was shaking my head. It's the wrong training. Oye dena obeye empia. Onka se when die do amaninti di buefu. I had an experience like that with an MP who came to a function. The chief was talking, and then the MC didn't interrupt. The chief was talking, and MP didn't find one or better. Immediately the chief finished, the MC took the microphone and said, "Oh, Nana Kasano, your honorable MP, so by Umiembo Seman Bende." After 5 minutes, the MP got up and left the program. But one quick before, so I didn't think there was anything wrong. I thought he would come back. One back after the show, my friend on far. Then a friend of his called me. I said, I didn't know, yes, sir. I said, my dear, honorable Bufu. I didn't know ban one moment China at least we introducing no nanko be sorry or ye penny no more acknowledging no then. And I was like, how can any human being want that? Would you want that? No, me mom the other wow. Like, how would you want that? Me bampo me person be who say my back. But he was so offended, he left the gathering of chiefs and other dignitaries because he felt that somebody didn't acknowledge him the way he's supposed to be acknowledged. But if an SHS boy is being given that treatment as a school prefect, it goes to tell you that Obeye Penia, that is what he will expect from his subjects. That's how Obeye Musamu is subject, not colleagues in development. So please, the titles, the authority, we call it authority and not power. Power is what you take by force. Authority is what they voluntarily give you. So in all these things, most of it, force in the our own colleagues give us that authority. They give us the right to lord over them. So if you want to be a leader, reject that authority when it's given to you. Humble yourself. Yes, you have a kitchen at our office. You've been there several times. Everybody washes the plates when you're done eating your breakfast. Maybe pecking for breakfast. And after eating it, I have a meeting. I'll say, but how would I want somebody else to come and wash my kenke plates for me? I would have to finish washing it before I go and join my meeting. So that service, and if you go on LinkedIn, one of the people I work with was recounting her 2025 experience. And some of the petty things I'm talking about that I didn't know I was even exhibiting. Those are the good things that she highlighted as in terms of her relationship with me professionally at work. Campus, at your workplace, you don't even know your colleagues. The manager I remember the most was the one who kept asking me, how is Christy? The fact that Obroni Ofini Kumu now we share my wife once or twice, now only me din, now whom you be what he's saying. I consider him my best manager of all times. That Obia Pesadiano, everybody likes that thing. Yes. And it doesn't come naturally. You have to learn it. If you are put in a leadership position, you must make a deliberate effort to say no, I'll learn this about this person and constantly talk about it, ask about it, for the person to know that it is not all about the bottom line. I also have that care. You lead from the heart, you don't lead from the head. If you lead from the head, everything 1 + 1 must be 2 all the time. If you lead from the heart, you know this is the deadline. Now I'm shifting from school for no to Ejumai for Kakra. You know this is the deadline. But the person was supposed to deliver the thing, or Yariampa. And yes, or you're lazy. You know that person. You know, say, Yare no, if the doctor had not sedated him or her, because they do not know how to hospital, why? But this is the time for you to also call the one who gave the deadline that, CEO, we are sorry we can't deliver this as you said. You've had some challenges. Please give us 1 more week. That person will respect you for life. And then tell them. I had a colleague who went for surgery and was given just, I think, 2 weeks to recover. And there were complications and she had to stay like over a month. But even where she went to recover, she couldn't come back to the Goldfields Hospital to be assessed and given additional days. And then also track from Water region back to Takwa just to be reassessed. And when she explained her condition, someone who is also, I have sisters and I'm married and my wife has had similar experience before. Quickly, he said, now why are you even worrying? Say, boss, should I put in leave days? Leave days for what? Do you have leave days? No, say, leave it to me. You've told me. So I have taken the responsibility. If anybody comes and say, why I'm not at work, say, my manager says I shouldn't come to work, and let them come and ask me. We condition it, cry, paper, so now official then. If I tell my boss and he doesn't understand, I know how to go about it. And that has brought up, like there's even 25th. Who was I was telling somebody 25th. Now she's back at work. I saw a mail from her 25th. And I was like, who could you men there? I called her. He said yes, because she has asked for a few more days end of January. Until near maybe also end of January, no. Why you fast? I am your man fast over the holidays. In the 25th, was sending in her mommy. And now when she's gone, she knows I won't be in trouble. She wouldn't have been in trouble if she had left this thing undone and still gone off at the end of the month. That is how the schedule is. But because of that, how do you call courtesies, kakra, showing interest in the person's health, showing interest in the person's family and all that, that person also sacrifices for you, the leader, to win. So you lead from the heart. You show empathy when your people need it. Leadership is also for everyone. We are fond of saying that when you're a born leader, there is nothing that you can't learn under the sun. There's nothing you can't learn. It's for everyone. So every student can lead. Every person can lead a student in the classroom, in the community, in clubs, by acting. Well, when a bit I can't wear that, by acting with my favorite word, by acting with integrity, initiative, and empathy. I've talked about empathy. When you act with integrity, do you know how it makes you a leader? That is the kind of leader who is never voted for, but you lead. Because you always act with integrity. Kofun say, no nonsense, or no, dear. I didn't know that when you see, we are not for crown one year or no becan. In a group, you may not put your hand up that you want to lead. Somebody else will get voted for. But when people need problems solved, they come to you. They don't go to the person. So that is how you can become a leader even without having the authority or the formal appointment. Adapting to contemporary changes. In this day and age, if you are planning on embarking on any leadership journey in your school, your classroom, your church, your workplace, be ready to learn every day. This December, I have really attended a lot of programs. And sometimes I feel like a stranger in the midst of the thing going on. I'll be 45 very soon. And you my year twa, I didn't even know and you before for people by this. Say asama almost I'm sure mudins now is bad away. Say, you see, it's not as though I have stayed away from social media. I'm still there. But they call it the VUCA world. Who knows what VUCA means? The V stands for volatile. Things are volatile. The U stands for what? Ambiguous. And I ambiguous. You near the start. Say you near the start. And A. No, there's A. So VUCA. So the A will be the ambiguous. No, uncertain. The U is uncertain, and the C is complex. So let's go again. Volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous. So that's VUCA. You can Google it. Yes. So that is how we describe the world now. Everything is volatile, and it's not facile. By the time you finish learning it, it's already gone. It's a cake. So the skills you think you have today, and I mean, when I'm in video editing, hey, there's an AI tool. Me the shame of So forget it. Until me life was sorry them you say, when I in video editing, so for say your promo video, man, na and I'm busy. The papa so for call internet, so no Google video free AI tools for video editing. Your leadership is gone. You are no longer the leader of them. And I will tell you then hey. There's a guy, a good friend of mine called Xavier in Takwa. He finished national service, he wasn't getting a job and started learning AI. He has composed a full album. And you mean AI generated. The beats, only instrument but the lyrics, the everything, AI. He was learning it on the internet and he came across a music AI tool and he was excited about it. So he just enters the team, compose a song about this. Give it a reggae. No, I'm a prompt for a man different prompt. Or maybe a full album. No one or start is all boy. Who is this? Say, this is me. So forget it. Say so it's volatile. It is complex. It is complex. You have to navigate a world where even something as basic as Obane Bemakra is now a political issue. Whether male or female cry is a political issue. Whether male washroom or female. Something as basic. Something undebatable. We used to say the only thing impossible for man is for a man to become a woman. We used to say that. They say, because men are becoming women. So that complexity, how do you navigate it? How do you build your church without offending the one who thinks that gender is fluid? It's fluid. It moves from one point. Now, how do you? There's a Pentecost elder that I know who has gotten transferred to Egypt, and he posts on Facebook a lot. One of his interests is, I say, share. You say you'll be preaching, and then you have somebody smoking at the back of the church, and then after church, that person is bold enough to walk to him with a cigarette in hand. Today the sermon was too long, eh? And you go like, I say, yes, complex world. So, are you going to entertain that person, gradually groom them to come and accept that what they are doing is wrong? Or you are going to stake your ground and say, they are sorry, nipa mi enu pen e wo hampo mepe. Since wo beba ha ba be num jot for sorry them. The culture no, what is jot? They don't drink, but smoking is no problem. So that complexity must be navigated as a young leader, whether in church, whether at the workplace, or so I'm wearing a cap because I have a crazy hairstyle. I'm learning from Gilbert. Yes. And it was a social experiment I did in Jaida. Goldfields brought diversity then and inclusion. And we fought against the sexual rights in Sensemino. It's against Ghana's constitution. Yes, we can have diversity in all forms. And I'm a senior manager at work. I speak for the company. I'm on TV quite a lot. It is a GDP some diversity. And your spokesperson, I'm a Rasta. I twisted my hair. And now the bosses can say Razak cut it. But yes, at one program I was MC, and that was the first time I did that. I was so free. Hey, the Ghanaians. You said they were talking about this, but I didn't see anything. It was months later I had another opportunity. I said, you see, this was a social experiment. I was waiting for one of you to say Kuchauti. Then I'll sue you for introducing that diversity. But nobody cares. So that is it. You must, as a leader, be able to navigate that. Your values are important, and you must always live your values. But you cannot impose your values on the people that you lead. You must continue living your values so that they emulate. You get me? Live your values. Is it Labijima? Then she say, now the rasta bana sorry na yede. Fabra, the obey bia. I mean, sorry was not made for holy people. It was made for sinners. And this onum we bra, onum sambra. Na say, back consistently. No so preach it consistently. Now after some time once a son. I know na obi who say or no na why is something wrong. But to say what we are say member the adding onye nyame. Yes. So the guys that follow him, I don't know whether you know that. None of them came as Sunday school near Yatiti Nation. Radicals are in his ministry, etc. So you must know, have the maturity to navigate that complex thing. In your study group, there's one person who will never do the assignment. Yes, but then there's one kasa bebre meeting as say you are not doing this, you are not doing that. What would you do about such a complex situation? You bet me a reporting. Reporting na yeah, that is fine. But you report him and you lose the friendship. So complexity, what do you do? What do you value? The friendship or the bottom line? Is it you are leading from the heart, right? So why don't you want to talk to the person? Now we can't talk to each other. Have you noticed that? Yes, rather WhatsApp. Oh yes, we can't have conversation because once you show be say a fair say the gadgets have become a block. We can't, young people can't have conversations. We give scholarships at our workplace, and when people have problems with their scholarship, they can't call and talk about it. They come for meetings like this and say, if you have any issue, come and talk to me. They are unable to do that. Oh, say, it's like so, but that same person behind the phone, or back typing message number or use emojis be a one who be that. And then, yes, but we are losing the social connection, we are losing the social skills. So please be conscious about it. Try and cultivate the habit of having difficult conversations. You can't be a leader if you can't have difficult conversations. How can you tell if you can't tell your friend that you came to my house and you said this or did this, I didn't like it, and let's and still maintain the friendship. If you can't do that, you can't lead. Yes. We have leaders, union leaders, people get drunk at work, and that one, you will destroy. And then they go and tell the person who got drunk that when you go to the district committee, tell them, say, oh, no, maybe the drone and alcohol. Like, try to find ways and means for the person to escape the sanction. That is not a good leader. Unrespectful. If he's even successful, when he comes back to work, he doesn't respect you. Yes. That situation really happened. The guy came and told that story. It's about how it's the most, I mean, it won't hold water. The company has a clinic. Nowhere in your appointment letter that it say that go and take the draw. Yeah, so you're hospital free. You can't tell me say then you leave. So he will bring the argument, will counter it. And then he will say he was getting into trouble. There are two things. Either he's dismissed or terminated. Dismissal, he will lose all his entitlements. Sika will save you with a company for about 20 years. Termination, you lose your job, you get your entitlement. And we went into the judiciary hearing with the mindset that we were going to terminate him. But he was becoming difficult. And I got to know it was the union rep who is a leader, is the one advisor. And that leader is part of the committee. Into a year that Nasia, ye Pia, as me seen a person you would know, then he'll come and say, near there, because even with all that intervention, he's not studied the constitution, he's not studied the rules and regulations of the company to advise properly. So I called this guy one time after the hearing to my office and say, hey, bottom line is you can't work with GoForce anymore. And I turn it so. And I'm saying, yes, this is how you are supposed to feel. You took the alcohol, so you must feel like this. You must regret it. Until you hit that bottom of regretting it, there's nothing we can do. Even if we bring you back, you will drink again. Papa Penny, he started crying. And I was looking at him. Me, those difficult conversations, looking, I kept a straight face, allowed him to cry. And I may say, two, dismissal or termination. If you continue along the path that what it means is that we have to dismiss you. Because laws now we're breaking up a dorsal. Yeah, no one reporting. I know you're another office. You do now economy and your alcohol testing point or gate. When you are entering the mine, You are supposed to test a voluntary. But if you feel that you are not too sure, you go and blow. If there's alcohol, the company says go home free, don't come to work. You fail to do that. So 2 offenses now. Before the actual drinking, then you were operating a heavy equipment whilst intoxicated. And finally, you endangered the lives of those who were there because you were intoxicated. There's no termination, there's dismissal. So please, go accept the wrong, feel bad. Or can say the wife is about to leave because of this and all that. You say, hey, face it all and get out of it. Less than 3 months, no hand of frame. After that, we exchanged numbers, we terminated him. I had then, after the meeting, spoken to DMA, Drill Masters, another company that is a subcontractor working in a different area. Said, this man, this is the situation, but maybe I will do know. I doubt he will ever do this again. If they have any drilling opportunity, they can consider him. And drillers are quite difficult to find in the mining industry. So less than 3 months, that person called. So he was calling me to thank me. And I felt so proud. Say I was able to have the difficult conversation with him. And he went through. As for the wife, I don't know what happened. But at least that rock bottom, that hard talk from somebody young enough to be the father, to be the son, was enough to switch his mind back on, say he needs to lead a certain lifestyle. Maybe Otina go full Sanka assembly for Betono. Akoshe DMA, he's still working there. So learn that as a young leader to have difficult conversation. Do it honestly, but do it respectfully. You don't, another thing they can write down, you don't have to let anyone feel stupid after an argument or after a discussion. You can make a point, you can win an argument without making the other person feel bad. That's maturity. Win the argument, but never make the other person feel bad. In a year, you just want to establish a point. Why do you need to humiliate the person in establishing the point? They may catch you in the meeting. But I saw him and I said, no, this is something to be done one-on-one before we go into the bigger meeting. And the choice of words, it is straightforward, but it is with all humility and it's with respect to the person. That is the only time that the person will thank you. So that is another thing we need to take in mind. I'll end on this slide. Let me just say a few more things. So we talked about the VUCA, the technology and all that, learning about it. And yes, I think this is a good place to play. Finally, if you have taken anything from this and you would like to accept a leadership journey as a young person, the concluding statement I'd like to tell you is that man, know thyself. You cannot lead others when you don't know yourself. Your shortcomings, your strength, your weaknesses. No man can do it all. No woman can do it all. So you must know your strength and know the strength of your team. You are only as strong as your team. As a leader, you are only as strong as your team. You cannot be the star player who defends, dribbles in the midfield, scores the goal, and also catches the ball. Who will be that? Yes. You know that goal scorers are rewarded more, but somebody always gives the pass. There was, I think it's Marta, the Brazilian woman player, footballer. She's won the best player award so many times and top goal scorer so many times. One of the times that she won, that's the statement she made. Said, I appreciate this award, but I just want the organizers to know that there hasn't been a single goal I've scored that was not, that the ball was not passed to me. So I dedicate this to all those who assisted those goals. Simple. So know yourself and know the strengths and weaknesses of your team. Self-aware leaders recognize their own traits, helping them to delegate wisely, grow effectively, and lead authentically. You can delegate the task, but you never delegate the responsibility. So a leader who tries to delegate responsibility, the one you delegate the responsibility to, you more or less handed over. Yes, you must be ultimately responsible. Be quick to accept responsibility for things that go wrong in your team. A leader should not even ask how it happened before saying it's my fault. If you've never said it's my fault, you've never been a leader. You don't even have to know what went wrong. Since you are the leader, and once you know you accept you are the leader, and you accept something has gone wrong, it's your fault. It is only after that admission that you investigate and find out what went wrong. And you will know that whatever it was, it is still your fault. Somebody did it, but why did the person do it? You keep asking why. Investigation for 4 whys. 5, eh? By the time you get to the 5th why, you will know it's your fault. Oh, the person is not trained. Who is supposed to train? It's not me. Tell me, class, me a trainer. I also call the course. Who is supposed to nominate for that course? And someone may come to me say, "Oh, person, yes, our course." No. Who is supposed to identify that weakness in the person? So by the time you answer all that, you say, "No, I should have identified that this person cannot do this. I should have then had a discussion with them and then recommended them for this program." You know, it's your fault. So I said that you must be self-aware, recognize your own strength, and then you delegate wisely. You don't delegate certain people out to go and fail. You must know their strength and you give it to them that this is what you know the person can do. The responsibility is yours. It is only then that if you ever happen to take credit, your followers will respect that you need to take credit. So they won't responsibility behind to award the bar, your followers will leave the job for you to do. Award the bar once in a while, call the one who actually did the work, and then send that person, stand behind and say, collect it on behalf of the team. That at the end of why you know, I said, yes, you recognize it. We have cleaners that go for sweepers, women, some beyond 40, elderly, some of them 50s and all that. One time we had a function with a CEO and everybody involved. I don't know who brought that idea. I was MCing. Major Mike me here na mami for mo prague go for no muti enemy. It was a social function. Brofo na ye kakra bebrante. But there will be dinner, you be di, and they were seated in front. So I asked the organizers, "Hey, now we was it as for me, once in a while, let's also bring them to come and enjoy with us." And I had mad respect for whoever brought that idea, say audio mobile. And when we were done eating and the dance floor was open, yay! They were happy, and some of them, their children could be managers of that company. Yes, but they are sweepers. The one who sweeps right in front of my office, you do want to pay me channel. One time, you drive traffic more. Apparently, there was a redundancy and she was affected, and now she's selling that. Oh, meba, my baby, I'm saying, I tell me who watch no be fear that last month I was saying, oh, Debbie, me kwa me no mbeka such as we are. I was in the office and the environment manager in charge came to me. We're having it. I said, "Anamami ko prame." Also, Razak, don't worry, from you na back. And I called her and said, "Mami, I say back." Then, like now, we are like obini neba. Or your mami obiti maybe me, but at least close. So that leadership from the heart, recognizing everybody who contributes to the goal, is very, very important. So another story is told of somebody, I don't forget the company, either Mercedes Benz, no, space, they manufacture space shuttles. It's a common story, popular story on social media and then on the internet, where somebody went there, a visitor, and asked a young man what they do. And then he went like, I help put people on, I get people in space. That's the answer. I said, wow, that's quite a tough job. What specifically do you do? He said, I clean the office of the engineers who designed the space shuttle. Yes. One can say me cleaning office. Say I help I help to put people in space. Yes. The company I'm who say the human in the focus space. Nanka when cleaning one engineer they are. You see, so once you recognize that, you would always get the support and cooperation of the team. So know yourself to help you to delegate and all that. Value-driven decision making. Knowing your personal values enables consistency and ethical behavior. Ethical behavior now idea constantly. You can't say me, I believe in honesty, but anytime you want to be out control. But we value your honesty. So the value is not what you say it is, it's what you do consistently. After what you say, the can be, but what you exhibit consistently makes you. So knowing yourself will let you know what you value. I value time a lot. I value time a lot. You can say, "Be do at 8 o'clock." This ano. About 4 na my friend. Yeah, call 5 near mano. Then yeah, Benny na me need that time. So when we set off, we were going to get here at 3:35. I worried. I said 8 o'clock, and I could do 8:30. Till do baby a quite near Tiaso. I can't cry you do say no by 7:59. And I mentioned it to him. Say we made the time. I don't know why, but if you want to please me, be on time. Hey, after that one there, if you just be on time, come 5 minutes early. Then that is so. If that is my value, I must exhibit that consistently. I cannot be saying this and then, oh, forgive me, mom, you said you're busy, dada. Oh, yeah, then you're busy. When I also beba, if you can't be busy. Emotional regulation and empathy. I mentioned that already. Self-awareness fosters emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is all about not flaring up, controlling your emotions. A leader, you don't have to, anyone, all of you here, go and look for this series. It's called The Battle. Is that The Battleship or The Last Ship? The Last Ship. There is no leadership, any movie or any series that teaches leadership that I've seen that more than. It's about a captain, a ship captain. Have you seen how he acts in times of crisis? And I didn't have that before I watched that series. I didn't have that. If I'm in crisis, you will know. My team notices that we are in crisis. And I learned from that movie. I mean, and it's a movie, so you know they can act. But you practice it in real life and it works. I get a call. Manager, I have bad news. That's how my people bring bad news. I have bad news. So, one year. And say, oh, really? So after watching that, oh, really? Yes, so one of our vehicles is involved in an accident. What will be your first question? What happened? Yes. Which other question? Yes! That's leadership from the heart. The first question should be, was anybody hurt? Hey, the person reporting the thing, what controlling the emotions? Oh, no. Obi ne di betri ye car no. Oh, okay. But is everybody okay? Yeah. The guy who was driving, his name, CEO, Kusha was driving. The guy is called Kusha. And he's also a young pastor in my team. How would I jump into conclusion and say, or the car copy? Are you sure he's okay? Then my assistant said, manager, you know Kusha already. He's very shaken up, though he says he's okay. Because go fails. Hey, after investigation, you go before a panel, you do this. The Niema Yebabe Femono is about 3 months Niema. So after na shall and the information is I have to send a message to the entire mind that the incident has happened. You didn't be a baby will be a friend. Oh, Nakusha Bani send that alone is traumatic. So, oh, Neho Yen, I'm saying, my men in Kasa. And I'm saying, Kusha, a 2 year in a woman drop you with fear. We have 24 hours to send out the flash. So, I'll put something together. When you come in the morning, then we send it. But forget it. Some of these things happen. In the castle. Hey, you can't send me, you know. It was just full of praise for me. And it's because deliberately I went to learn it. You must have that ability to control your emotions. Your team reflects what you put out there. It's like a mirror. If you show you are tense, they'll be tense. If you show you are scared, they'll be scared. So just have some strength and put the repercussions at the back of your mind. The worst that can happen is you human sound Ghana. Have that faith, have that belief that hey, everything happens for a reason and everything works together for the good of those who do what. So if you love God, you should be the last person to feel scared, threatened in such a crisis situation. Say the best leaders come forth when there is crisis, not in times of peace. So in this series, the ship is bombed, everything is going haywire, people are dying, and this gentleman is walking through, consoling who needs to be consoled, devising strategy and all that. Even the people you bring close to yourself to decide on strategy. Hey, step by step, you learn these things and you practice them consistently. They become the values you live by. And as always, the bottom line is there's a God factor. the bottom line is there's a God factor. If you practice all these things and you do not hold on to the God factor, the prayer, the time spent on your knees, it will still fail. Because not everything is physical. Not everything is what you've heard. You understand? We've talked about things, tools that you can use in an ideal situation, in a situation where everyone is approaching the leadership journey or the project with the same mindset. You will come across people who are running counter to the progress. Those are the times that you have to spend more time on your knees, praying for direction, praying for the heart, praying for the words, praying for the attitude to use to change some of those. There are team members who are particularly there to frustrate. It's not as if they made a mistake. You know, like I say, I'm going to be empathetic. It's not as if accident. There are people who are deliberately planted or have planted themselves to frustrate actions. Those you cannot tackle physically. So your only battlefield is in the spiritual. You win that battle and you come to the physical, and victory will be yours. And hopefully, this country of ours would have MPs, would have ministers, would have presidents, CEOs of boards who are ethical, development oriented, and lead with sympathy. Hope you've taken at least one thing from this long talk this morning. Thank you. Hey, I've now recognized you. Yes. I saw you and I was thinking we met at this function only. A similar function only. Yeah, I know her, 101. All right, thank you very much. Any comments, any questions? Yes, I love questions. And when it comes to comments and questions, please, the presentation is from me, but the answer to the question is from all of us.
So the Christians are
drop a few.
After this, I'll count for some of the answers.
Yes.
So,
and I'll share the
what
slides.
is the difference between confidence and arrogance?
Yes.
And the next one, you're talking about getting access to gain something based on someone you know.
Yes.
And let's take it that, you have a son.
Yes.
And you are working in a company, and there was a vacancy, and 3 people applied, of which your son was part. Because your son, you needed only one person. Your son qualified. The other 2 also qualified. Are you sure you are going to take the other 2 leaving your son? And his privileges also not important, because you're talking about ministers
influencing,
allowing them to drive big cars. It is because of their privileges. So his privileges also not important.
Questions no dorsal. Which one do I start with? Let me start with the minister's one. So privileges are important, and I made a blanket statement. But if you want to break it down, it will come out more clearly. I am not really blaming us at this stage for. I think the system. What I'm trying to say is, and that's a personal view. It's not any research that I've done. It's a personal view that we consider this part of the world, Africa, Ghana, political position. We give it too much of a status that it actually is. Yes. So why is the Prime Minister of UK? Why does he have less privileges than a minister in Ghana? When Gordon Brown handed over his prime ministership to the Queen, when he was going, he had a motorcade. Just about 3 cars. CNN covered it with a drone image. You could see the car running through traffic and going to the palace. It took just about 15 minutes. The ceremony was over. He drove away from the palace in his Mini Cooper, that small car, and stopped at the same traffic light that he ran through when he was prime minister. Do our former presidents stop our former minister stop in traffic or yes. So the problem is not with us. It's that as a country, even as a continent, we have given political leadership some privilege that I think is too much. The work of the medical doctor requires, in my view, a motorcade to attend to an emergency, not the MP going to parliament. What do we lose if an MP is late to parliament? What do we lose? We will wait. Back we will wait. Obedi watem kakraba, he will wait. Why didn't he go early? The traffic situation was not caused by us. It's caused by lack of planning by who? Our leaders. Why is the road 2 lane and not 3? Why are there no alternative route for bigger cars and the trucks so that we can have easy access? Why are there no fast lanes where you pay some money and you can drive as fast as you want? When you know, when you say, nipa na oko parliament. Onye o say, o privilege ne say, oh, okoye almost say something of national importance. A human is of national importance. No, the teacher who is going to be late for my kid not to get good tuition, I think needs to get there earlier than the MPO. Political authority, no, that is how I see it. And it's a personal opinion. It could differ from places, but I think as a society, we've given it a lot of. They should have some privileges. For example, they get accommodation. They don't pay. That's a privilege. Yes, when they get to the airport, they go use the VIP. I was in Kumasi flying to Accra, and my first time in Kumasi, since it was really nicely done. VIP lounge. I tested it. I was in a t-shirt, jeans, and slippers. And because I wanted to see how far I can go before somebody asked me, young man, where are you going? And I went straight. Maybe done. Oh, excuse me, where are you going? I said the lounge. I said, oh, it's for VIP. And so, oh, okay, I thought it was a paid lounge. Just to test to see what will happen. But yeah, but no, that was why the original minister, after getting, he was on the same flight. After getting off the flight, went to sit before his luggage came out. And it's a privilege. I wouldn't say we should take that from him. Do you know why? We went and greeted him and spoke to him. Sometimes the person is not in that mood to be engaging a crowd just because to kanya bakeke. Into what they make VIP bia, it's a privilege. Beyond that, they say odikeja ni motoke ni to ko any traffic once I could but is that is our. So let me come to your next one. The favoritism. You know that situation you mentioned about a son. The first thing is you should not be the one assessing who to pick if your son is part of the pool. Yes. You must recuse yourself. If your son has come to you or you know of a position you want to give to your son in your own company, the way to go about it is not to open it for everybody to apply. Come in, they all qualify, and just because this is your son, then you take the decision that my son to come. If you want to help and there is a policy about how children of employees get access to the company, there are companies like that, GoFlows is like that. National service, a quota is given to employees. So you go to HR and say that my child is so, and they will allow the child to be posted there and they will take that child. You understand? If there's a policy like that, you follow it. But if it's by accident, a jumana ba, apply because you apply, okay, it's a good thing. At that point, you need to recuse yourself. Yes. You see how difficult it is? But that is what must be done. Because Nipana would deny no. Nipana, you see, they are all passed. But you are telling me that the only differentiation factor is that this one is your son. But performance there, he is not worse off. He may even be slightly better. But no one will trust your judgment. Your value is fairness. We say media may be fair as a manager. But everybody else is looking at you that when they came to employment, out of the 3 people, a parent will JD say you were fair. Nobody will believe it. Who will believe? And this is what our politicians tell us. Scholarship, an MP is able to get that scholarship for themselves, not even for their children. Now, I don't know about me to Obama. Yet to Abama never MP. Next time fire sika ko suya dia wabroche. It's privileged information. How many of you at the time knew that that scholarship was available? That your money, your tax is going to be used to pay scholarship for people to go to Germany. So because of the privilege you given him, he got to know. And he applied. Obi Otie Krasin so heard it somewhere and applied. Are you telling me that they all perform the same? In the Edema minister and you giant you feel Krasinana. Who will believe it, even if it's true? So if that minister knows of anyone who is on the appointment team, that person must recuse themselves in the selection. Or better still, as a minister of state, you don't apply at all. But I mean, tell me what you will lose if you don't get a government scholarship as somebody who is already MP or minister. What would you lose? Imagine you rather went and spoke to the people who are doing the scholarship and said, I have 2 young guys from the village. The person will consider more application and the people win. Between the two, as a leader, which one will make you a good leader? Getting the scholarship for yourself or your son, or getting it for total strangers from your community who genuinely can't afford? Because for you and your son, you can afford. If your son doesn't get that job and you are still in that position, your son wouldn't starve. But I bet you one of the 3 people, that is their last hope. Yes. So that is what I'll say about that. There was a third one, and I'm in the boom. I'm saying the two boom. Confidence and arrogance, yes. Practical example, arrogant. It's very subjective. It's very, very subjective. When you look at politicians, they're very, very subjective. It depends on maybe how you see things. No, so for me, the difference is respect.
Arrogance and confidence is respect. If you are assertive and respectful, you are confident. If you are assertive and disrespectful, you are arrogant. Another differentiating factor is self-aggrandizement. Situation say arrogance. Situation now you still make your point and you're confident. You get it? If you attribute the success to only you, a leader, you see, when it says I'm John, the reason why I was saying is that you know he likes saying I too much. I have directed. No leader should ever say I, except when you are taking blame. No leader. How can you direct? Who are you to direct? The ministry has been existing for so many years. You are just a political head. There are directors there who were there before you went to university. Give them some credit. Oh, my team has advised that we take this action. My team and I met and this is why we did this. Even if it's not 100% true, and it's not the team as sincere, not in a meeting, but at least you spoke to some people before taking the decision. Let everything come together and say, I'm back. So those are the differences I see. When you use any situation to place yourself above others, you are not being confident or assertive, you are being arrogant. And when in an argument, political debate or TV show, a lot of some of you are too young to remember President Mahama when he was communication minister and he was coming on Metro TV. That is where Ghanaians fell in love with him. Confident, very respectful. He didn't attempt to answer. When that says, no, my good friend, that's not how it is. So President always said this. No, I can't go. And it was so consistent that people started, Papa, when you're already president, I can't crowd, already president. But I don't want to be too controversial. That same thing, Farmer Hoy. You know, Savage JP makes very good political points, but his opponents always feel belittled after the debate. Don't you think so?
Yeah.
Hey, like during the campaign. Hey, you the one land, you bought this. Look at your face sitting there. Tell me you didn't do it. But he's a human being. Or a criminal said they cry or you nipa. Imagine, say the table stand and your child is watching someone poke their finger in your face and accusing you of something, even if it's true. Every father is a hero in the eyes of the kids. So, for we need to win the debate without demeaning or making the person look stupid. And only the difference that I see in being arrogant, whether you're arrogant, give credit when you have the opportunity to. And Ghana, young people, another angle to this question is that we are not confident. Either is because you don't trust yourself to be respectful. Yes, Ufi said, no. Everybody that I have, I told you, forgotten. Yudia. I think when I met with her, I told you, I believe I did, said, I think I mentioned coffee. You were asking questions. We were discussing something and you wanted to ask questions. You were asking about deadline. You were even negotiating with me. If I don't send it this time, I send it that time, is it okay? First time of meeting you. And somebody might feel, but you needed the answer. It's at the end of the deadline, there are two that you know you can't meet. How would you come and then we don't understand each other? Do you understand? I'll say that, send me this document. In my mind, I expect it today. In your mind, you want to send it tomorrow. If you hadn't asked, I would have gone back to bed and said, hey, the lady you brought, I don't know one fambo. Meanwhile, we never talked deadline. And you asked, I can send this and that document. And for this one, I'll send it on Monday. Is that okay? I left our engagement knowing that this is a confident lady I'm dealing with. So that is confidence. Men, what's your face? A primary home brasserie. I say from full respect. Who I wish I didn't work yes, but I said, I said, yes, sir. Everything you say, you add sir to it, you add madam to it. Being respectful is about choice of words, it's about body language, it's about culture. They're going to be respectful, no? And then Brunei, it's who culture they're respectful. I don't why you know. Nicely. So don't belittle yourself in the name of being respectful. The confidence must always be there for you to ask questions. And then I go interview. Do you have any questions? I know, say, yeah, every interview, baby, so said, do you have a question for us? The scorecard there, they mark it interview. That question carries marks. If it's 5 out of 100 and you said no, say I don't have a question, you get 0 out of 5. Which makes 95. Obi will answer that question, no, you have 3 marks, no, 98, maybe 2. How can you be wanting to work for a company and you say you don't have a question? Company now, are you sure you know everything about the company? You naturally you have a question. So when you say you don't have a question, you are either telling lies. So even maybe your mark or high for honesty, they will go back there and reduce the marks. Because we can draw. How can you not have a question? So you say you don't have a question because you are shy. You are not confident. And the internet is full of sample questions you can ask when you are asked that question. Thousands of them. I told you the one that I witnessed that was so fascinating when the lady said, do you have any question for her? Yes, based on my performance, when do I start work? I mean, it's like performance. One performer not dropping Michael. Who said, now we were just nodding, we were smiling, we were liking what she was saying. David said, okay, well, very well done. So do you have any questions? Yes, sir. So please, based on my performance, when do I start work? The answer is the open is everybody. So you see, it was based on the rapport we established during the interview. If the interview had been very tense, it would be silent because of the arrogance. You see another context. Interview didn't have a friendly, so she felt confident enough to ask a question that sounded like a joke. But the interview required acrimonious and I say tension will be at there. Now, wow, him say, yeah, I'm going. We said, I better, So, so please, context also matters in whether you call it arrogance or you call it confidence. The context also matters. Will be a question. Is that everybody's question? All right. Sure.
So, good morning. So I think you spoke about having difficult conversations. In this our world, there are people that don't like having difficult conversations. And sometimes we elect people that we feel that they are soft-spoken. They will never tell you when you do something wrong. So someone might elect someone that, okay, she's my friend, and when she does something to me, or when she does something in class or something, I will never be able to have that difficult conversation with her about her attitude or anything. But rather, I'll go behind her and talk about her. And sometimes too, with our leaders, having difficult conversations with them. So someone, speaking about the confidence as well, you might want an increase in salary, but you are not confident enough. You don't even know how to structure your English. Then how do you go about asking the person for a raise? And sometimes when you even move to the person, let's say your leader, you structure your English very well. Now when you are done telling him, he tells you that, why do you think I should give you the raise? Now you don't even have the answer, but you're going with a question. So sometimes I think that even when we have that confidence, you should prepare ahead, as you said, have the answers and have the questions, even though that you want something. And sometimes to our leaders too, you do everything, have the answers and everything, but they will belittle your confidence. They feel like you are too confident, and then you are intimidating them. They feel like you want to become the boss, whilst you are supposed to be an employee. Because we have witnessed in some environments where, I don't want to be a racial person, but I've worked with some people, let me say foreigners, Indians for instance, and they are intimidated by Ghanaians. And when you are confident, some Ghanaians are very confident, and when they're able to stand before you, they know what they are about. So once you try talking to them, they feel like, why is a Ghanaian trying to intimidate me with their confidence? And they have all the answers. So once you stand before someone, you should also be confident, have your questions and your answers, because sometimes it goes hand in hand. You have questions, I will ask you questions again, but it doesn't matter. You have to be prepared when answering a question. And we should learn how to have difficult conversations, because it boosts our confidence as well. It helps us to know who we are and how to answer questions and work on our attitudes as well. Thank you.
I couldn't have said it better. After that thing, Ms. Remo, let's learn it. You learn it better with your siblings and your friends. Learn to have conversation, even no matter how tough it is. In fact, your friends, your siblings especially, will tell you when that conversation you go overboard. And be prepared to accept that in this situation I went overboard. So that it is very, very important. You asked about the raise. A lot of companies, especially big companies, would have a structure in place. So you should know that Amigo be saying it is because the structure has been breached. I qualified for it a year ago and it hasn't been given. So say after asking and they ask you why do you think, you are going to quote the regulation that says that last year I should have gotten it. If you haven't studied the regulation, if you don't have a structure and inflation, yes, boss, I ain't going 10 years, maybe I'm done. So I'm just asking, I'm just pleading that you could readjust the salary. Things have become more expensive, rent has increased. See, that's where the fact rent has increased by 10% since you put me on this salary. Transportation to this place has increased like this, and I still use the same amount you give me. Over a period of 5 years or 10 years, I've been working with you. Now, I only get to take 5% of my salary. Everything else is spent on transportation. You must have those statistics. Yes. Number two, it is not easy as a leader managing a confident subordinate. using subordinates loosely. It is not easy, especially if you are from this society, this Ghana society. So leaders actually have to learn how to accept and groom and deal with confident subordinates. But let's flip it. Who is the leader? Leaders. So as you complain that your boss currently may have a challenge with your confidence, when you also become a leader, how do you treat the person who is now confident and is asking you questions that are uncomfortable? We always perpetuate the vicious cycle. For me, that is, again, everything is deliberate. At a point, you have to pinch yourself. You are talking to somebody and you pinch yourself. I'm punishing myself that I'm going overboard. I had a difficult boss in my career, and someone told me, and I started doing it, and it helped me. I tried to remember all the hurt that man caused me, just so I don't cause anyone the same hurt. Because I wanted to break the cycle. Because I had colleagues who would tell me that I'm going to be a fame. No. It should end with you. So as we are talking about bosses who are not relating with that well, it should end with you when you become the boss, so that we stop presenting on this issue anymore. Everybody now knows how it feels. So you. So please, that is very, very, very important. Learn, flip it. Want to add something? Yes.
So with the confidence bit, when we started the Comic Thursdays at Basement, we were doing a comedy talent hunt thing, and as the head, young talents will come exhibit their talent, and you know this guy is not ready for stage. But there's one particular guy always pushing, Charlie, I get content, put me on. I get content, put me on. Sometimes I think as a leader, when you see the little things that somebody must learn with the opportunity for somebody to fail at and learn from that failure. I don't know if I'm making sense. The person was too confident. So we went for like 4 episodes. People come today, and he's been with us 4 times on full stage there. And he came to me one challenge today, and I said, okay, line up, fresh line up, artwork, and so. And I knew his level. So I didn't make him go first. I put 2 people ahead of him. And he stepped on the stage. I come back 10 minutes to be answering. And as a comedian, that is a breaker. It's me, boo. And we ended the show. And after the show, we feed everybody. I'm like, where is this boy? So after that, I called him and I told him, it's not like I don't want you to be on stage. But when you start watching other comedians climb the stage, you learn from what they are doing. And as people who are working, that's what you do. You see this person go, you see this person go. People are saying Mahama is a better leader now than when he came, because he's gone back to learn something, as if it's true. So as workers or as subordinates, you need to learn from the people who are leading you. The last show with the people were coming to the 25th, and it was hell. So somebody has come to give you a burden. You are coming to me to share that burden with me, then we will both be burdened. So why don't you keep that burden so that I'll be free for now? And the girl will just look at my face, okay, Martin. Because we can't both be burdened. So go and handle it. But anytime they tell me the thing they are telling me, I know somebody is working at it. Just relax and keep the burden. Somebody will handle it. And likely we both, all of us came out successful. And as a leader, the we thing, it's not good to have an eye disease. Anytime I'm talking about our group and I think like, I feel bad about it. And you always learn to delegate. Give duties to people and just supervise. Do you believe from the time we started the show till we left, I'd only bowed like once that day? So I went for the first time, I went on stage and I had not taken my bath. So we were there to make sure things happen. Get dirty with your subordinates. And when they are there working, they know, oh, Charlie, boss Friday, and it gives them some joy. That is why J.J. Wallace was always J.J. gratitude thing. So be gentle with your people and they'll know that in boss day like you go do.
So you said a lot of things. The first one is about man know thyself, what I mentioned. So that person who thought his time was due, so he should be a leader, he should step up, didn't study very well to know that this is not my time. They didn't know themselves, and they had to know it the hard way. It will be difficult for him to bounce back after such a public display of humiliation. So know yourself, learn. You see, it's not just about learn and also unlearn. Sometimes it's not what you don't know, it's what you know. You know the wrong thing, and you are confidently displaying the wrong thing. You must unlearn that, take that out of your system, so that you get back to what they call tabula rasa, a plain slate, a clean slate, and you build person or became evangelists, etc. And then we were trying to see the difference between Oforia Ponsa and Lokenya. And somebody was like, Lokenya, they are calling or the Lokenya need not to jail. No, why are sorry about? You know, like evangelism, you know, building and something I yet in the radio. So I saw from my yeah, no, where's off. So, and I listen and say, Ampo, you don't carry the old you. Yes, also you know pruning. Yes, you must prune everything off and let the tree grow fresh leaves. But preaching with the paper, and yet the same thing. The spiritual will get you. So that is that. Know yourself and know. So delegate. So that is what the feedback I also give you. Next time there should be somebody in charge of parking. There should be somebody in the team that say, yeah, sure, but maybe who had a premiership. Have you seen the stewards who always watch the crowd and never themselves? Their duty in the team at the stadium is not to watch the game. It's go, nothing about her crowd, because during that time somebody is going to throw something onto the field. It's a young thing about them has a goal. Actually, replay the So know your role in the team and do it to the full. And there should be people you delegate parking to, so that feedback does not come to you. You must go to that person. The same scholarship people, we have a WhatsApp group for hundreds of scholarship students. The lady in charge of scholarship is on that page. The number Obisa questioner, quiet, nobody talks on that page. Meanwhile, people are on the page who have problems, issues about how to access the scholarship. Then once in a while, one of them would then send me a message. I'm also on the page. Boss, my check, school fees check has delayed. How do I go about it? Then I go, have you spoken to Gifty? She no, say. Then I was like, she's introduced herself as the person who is in charge. Why are you bypassing her to me? You bypassing your people you've delegated of your life. Let the people you've delegated to, let them do their job. It's okay, I don't level. When she's sending payment, she remembers that being checked. Boy, your friend, and the deal will. But if I solve it for him, you are spoon feeding the person. He has access to the boss. Why should he even respect the one you've delegated to? So to build your team up, when you delegate, give them the authority. Never disagree with them in public. The best, even if they are wrong, you keep quiet in public and you correct them privately. But in public, always praise them. Always praise them in public. Well, I was at a safety meeting and we were in a hurry. When we were done, everybody wanted to go lunchtime, and they asked whether anybody has questions. And my assistant raised her hand, and I was seated with my colleague managers. Oh, the last one, that's what they were telling me, and I just smiled. And this lady is articulate, okay, big girls, and she was making one day now. We have missed so many things that were going wrong in there. Some safety there. So when she presented it, then the guy who says, "Oh, the light," I said, "Now the ball," I said, "We will go first foundation." It's a prophecy will be our mind. And I was trying to say it on the choir, but it came out now. Others heard it, so the entire room, everybody was laughing. And she came out and was saying, "Manager, when you come in here, then you are hyping us." So that is that. Hype them in public and only criticize privately. And you never start a criticism without a praise first. oh, well done in this program that you did. In fact, everything went perfectly well. The way the program leader was even drawn, this man's speech went very well, and you see the people came on time. Well done. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, watch. Not the also. By the way, watch the sitting arrangement. It seems you put the MP way back in the crowd. Some of them don't like that. But what actually may have happened, they say program and say MP move for you or no organize a one thing. But I don't know then you got now and I was no. What pa MP na chawe we na de na emu na ekono. Ma ba edumem the next day na mo ye review. Praise and don't go like did when you na okay the heads has already come. Why do I want to pass it on? Nigeria must solve you. And why they say afterthought, but I'm telling you, every person in that authority will know when you tell them that small thing. By the way, watch where you do how you do the next time. The weight of what you want to say, Obenya, don't feel that you must raise your voice, you must pour everything out before your people get the message. You say it in the way they will get it. Consistently. Today they don't get it, tomorrow say it again, another day. It's like, don't compare the people, your team members with your children. It's wrong. But sometimes the relationship looks like that. How many times you tell a kid, Jai? Oh, Jai, how many times? But you keep saying it, you don't give up. So why is it that at the workplace, when you can't Jai back, when I went Jai and I will wolf, when you are going to team, you need it from the show. Because what can one day, obey is human nature. Say that, Ray.
Hello.
Thank you.
Abdel-Razak, thank you for your presentation. I want to touch on small with when you talk about our young women bringing their reproductive roles to the work environment.
I like that, reproductive role. They are mothering.
Yes. I think by virtue of our social orientation, most of the time when we're in a productive environment, we tend to carry on reproductive responsibilities, which are very wrong. We are not there to serve our bosses. We are not there to be sent on errands to buy wachi. We are not there to serve them, whether emotionally or physically or even spiritually. That is not our responsibility. So when you are in a working environment, you take on your productive role. I'm giving an example. Just before we came for outreach, they were having a get-together at my office. And I'm actually the nutrition officer for my office. So my boss expected me to be part of those cooking and even head them. But I also had other projects that I was working on that I had deadlines and to submit my reports just before that very day where we had a get-together. So I couldn't make it to the office very early in the morning. I had to work from home. I got there and it was like, so for my job, I just entered my office, did some few things, and then worked my calculations out, forwarded my reports. Then I went to where they were cooking. Oh my, I was so bad where you know my idea. I'm before paying for I'm not collecting a menu. I'm the man of file, and then I went back. So when we closed the whole section, I asked my boss that I had a conversation, so I needed to see him at the office. Then he came, and I was like, I've submitted all the reports. The donors have sent the money. They sent the money yesterday, and he was like, "Hey, that's soon." And I'm so yes, that's soon. And see, what do we do? No, see, you go and share the money, and then you bring me my portion. And I said, "Oh, boss, send away the with Jumo. Or see, also, mommy do it." Then I did it by virtue of Momo. By the close of the day, I sent him his portion. When it was time for us to depart, he was sitting there with those that cook. He got time to see me off to my car. And such of family, I'm sure how my brain may be bad. If I had skipped off my productive role and attended to the reproductive, and by one day we'll be the answer. But now he has money for the whole Christmas. So I think we should be on the watch out for that very part of it. Thank you.
The cultural role. So it's role and it's also an expectation. Sorry. It's a cultural role and it's also an expectation by some people. I have colleagues who were offended that we have said nobody should prepare tea for anyone. Me, nothing not be anytime say. Now who crap plates in the tea no I think or call boss office. Meanwhile, the gentlemen, as I said, are reading reports. Now after service, you could be after the mama and family.
No, nothing will pio. I say, Papa will swim my summon. Well, if you buy it, they are common down for a boy with also compresent. I don't reckon. And that's also on the Manchester United. But when it came to the interview, there was no question about how to prepare tea. Yes, please, ask for that one. Expectation is difficult. What control institution now? That is the expectation from them. It is difficult for you to say that is the expectation, but me they be way free. It's a cultural thing. That's one we tackling it from the top. As more companies adopt this, get to understand that Ubia on a role like that production role, and not reproductive. There will be a critical mass that will change these things. So I know it's difficult. In institutions like I'm talking about those where it is stated that don't do it, and you feel you must do it. In places where it is expected of you near the end, you've just landed at the wrong place, because it will be difficult as a young lady to come there and the manager for the session says, when we are responsible for the lunch. We were called cantina boss confidently and respectfully. I was brought here for a different purpose. You will do your purpose and go home as well. So it's a difficult thing to navigate. Exactly. Baby, I share the same running here. Don't volunteer. That's what I mean. Don't volunteer. Say, though you say and by force, no media. Me do edwuma na abroso nti me ye bedwuma wi a mesia ye no aka ho ana me ja bedwuma wo ho na ma ye no aka ho. That one is a bit too much, a bit dangerous. Yeah. And that is where you get people also take advantage of you, especially the young ladies. And not every man can decode doing tea for me as doing tea for me. Some men will decode it as you want a relationship beyond the workplace. Or Pemasemo, maybe an opano cry, and you put beside the way the answer what with you. Or buy and say this girl the way beside or the tea number. Or say, maybe you cry dream with you and they will dream you full cry save a year or fee. And they may call conference and then never call. No one can say the DDR. You know where it's going. All right.
Thank you. My question is, when you were giving the presentation, you said something about having a 5 years vision, and then you should have a database of maybe having 1,000 companies, and then maybe at the end of your term of office, you should have 500 that maybe you've been able to connect with. And then right now, my question is, I want to aspire for the one president position next semester. But then I'm currently also the coach. But as at now, I don't have any connection with any of the engineering industries. So how do I bring that on board? Because during campaign, you have to bring your vision to the people. They have to understand what you want to do, the impact you want to bring to the women in the engineering department. And then also, because I'm the coach, if I should get any maybe internship opportunity there, would I have to give it to only the women because I'm the president, or I can also give it to the guys since I'm also the coach? Because people will contact you, oh, coach, is this internship, do you have any opportunity or something? So how do I?
So it might be I don't know much about it. So it might be so wild an example that it might not be practical for you. But if you think it is practical, it is easy. How many of us here work for a company that has engineers? So that is how you contact the companies. Simple. Networking. If that's your vision, after this discussion, you need to get their contact numbers, and then you need to go into more details than I did. Oh, what Razak said resonated with me, and I want to pursue it. Since you're in engineering field, how does it work at your place in terms of national service, in terms of attachment and all that, internship, etc. So that is how you start. Do you understand? And if you are wearing two hats, as a course rep and as a two things that I do on the side. I'm a women's advocate and I'm a disability leader. Just last month, I made a good friend, somebody who is physically challenged, and the person has converted me to a disability advocate. So now those two, I think I will be putting that thing forward more than anything else that I do. As for women advocate, if you go to Gold Coast website and you look for women in mining, I'm the only man whose picture is under that link. So people go, is it a mistake? I saw Razak's picture under women in mining. I said, no, I'm their patron. Anytime the women in the mining company want to organize a program, because I had a foundation where we do projects, Mimbisa question. Then I'm okay, we want a photographer to cover this, we want meals for the special guest. So do everything and bring the bill to Go for Ghana Foundation. We will pay for it. That's what I've been doing with my team, and it led to that. So if you want to be a women's advocate, you have opportunity, you must strike the balance. Do you understand? I am biased towards women, and I would say give all to the women, because engineering is male dominated. The reason why there is women in engineering is that you want to advocate more for women and you want to bridge the gap. GoForce currently employs only 13% of the workers. We have about 5,000 people. Only 13% are women. And out of that 13%, about 70% are in HR, accounting, community relations. The proper mining engineering, mechanical engineering and all that, they are few. Do you get it? So if I am placed in a position where I have opportunity for internship, I would go for more women into that role. Yeah. And if you want to pursue the president, put a team together to explore your chances. Put a team together. I like that. I did a lot of student politics. Put a team together to explore your chances as course rep. We are currently course rep. So how do you fare as course rep? You must assess yourself. Man, know thyself. Before you go and put your poster up and then you get back with single votes. So assess yourself, what your chances are, know what the gaps are, and then you know what to do. Then the 5-year plan again is mine. I just drew the number out there. It could be a 1-year plan, it could be a 2-year plan. But it's a good idea to say that for women in engineering, which institution? University of Energy. Oh wow, a natural resource. I was there 2025 early. I didn't meet you, did I? GoForce came there, we made a lot of noise there. I met your VC, very nice man. Now they want to kick him out or something. Did we meet there? Oh, okay. Yes, it was quite an interesting time. Your campus is very beautiful with your trees and yes, so you do that. The 5-year might be too much. So think of it. What can you do? If you want to pursue this, it's a fantastic. For me, I think it's a good idea. You want industry to know about an association called Women in Engineering. So your vision for the association during your tenure of office is to contact as many companies that do engineering as possible, and at least organize one career fair. At least one. So you have a list. 1,000 is too much. Maybe 10 companies. One career fair. You can get a company or two to come and talk to the women about opportunities that exist. What you will do, maybe institutionalize it. Get those. You would go after 1 year. Get those companies to sign a memorandum of understanding between your association and the company. Let's say GoForce. So during the first training, the first day of the fair, you bring your VC and everybody. Your MOU is there. GoForce commits that every year we commit to take part. It's not cost for us. Committing to such a document is not. So we commit to it. So you leave that as your legacy. It was during her time that we had an agreement with these two companies. So every year they come to campus to come and tell us about opportunities that exist. Through that, the new president also added 2 more companies. Now we have 20 companies that always come there. And you guys have one of the best programs. I didn't know until I just tell you. You do urban mining. Urban mining. No university does that in Ghana, even the whole West Africa. And then and mining is becoming urbanized. Now we are digging the gold for the age. So how is that possible? Ghana law says if you are mining here, you must leave 500 meters buffer nobody should have any activity. They're not even farming. When you blast 500 meters, no egg can be out. But now the pits are widening and getting close to communities. Urban mining will tell us how to engineer these pits better in order not to impact negatively on them. And you are doing this program, and go first, we didn't know there was a program like that. So when we spoke to your VCs and all that, they talked about this career fair thing, but they talked about they coming to the industry to come and talk to HR people, engineers, GMs, that these are the things the kids are studying, so that when you are done, you don't have a challenge with them. So you can tie it into that and all. Yeah. Oh, we'll do it for better. That's what you said. Yeah, and then go first. You got it already. Which other companies are coming?
Sorry. It's been long since I spoke through your mic.
Is that so?
So my heart is beating right now.
Is that so?
It hasn't been beating the whole time.
So, Mr. Razak.
Yes, sir.
Can we talk a little about your transition from being a Muslim to Muslim?
Oh, okay. You want a testimony? Yeah, I'd like to share it.
So, I would like to know how that transition has helped your, leadership role, how you suggest through your leadership role as someone who works. Let me rephrase the question. How has that transition helped you as you sustain through the vicissitudes of a leader as a professional one? How has it shaped? How has it guided you? Now we know that we have business, but we are messing out. There are a lot to learn with professionalism. This man was a Muslim, and he transited to a Christian. How has it helped you? Please want to know.
Good question. First of all, disclaimer, I don't know how biblical or spiritual this statement is, but I do not personally have anything against any religion. I do not condemn any religion, no matter how outrageous some of their beliefs might be. That is the starting point for me. And my story is a bit crazy. So if you go back to Cresec and ask the year 2000 group, I was the GEMSA president, Ghana Muslim Student Association president. So for the Ghana Muslim Student Association president to finish school in the year 2000, and that same 2000 decide to go to the church closest to my house. I just started that. Woke up one day and said, no, I said, I saw in the Payfi. I was a Baptist church, and I went straight there. Then I had friends who were Baptists, and I spoke to one of them and said they know the Sopho, so I should go and talk to him. And I went and spoke to the Sopho the next Sunday. I don't tell anybody in the house. I show my, we're living there. Sunday, so let me go back. 2000, year 2000, few months before SSC at the time, I got sick. Typhoid fever. Because I wasn't eating proper food on campus. Then I was admitted at a hospital, Snake's Hospital in Osu. My dad, a civil servant, my mom ran a private clinic that wasn't doing too well at the time. So at the time I didn't know they were broke. But every child thinks their parents are rich. Because at Presec, every Sunday they visited me. Every Sunday they brought me home. So every Sunday. My friends knew that Sunday they will not go to dining. Razak will have food, Form 1 to Form 3, constant. But when I got sick and I was admitted in the hospital, somehow I could see they were struggling. Snake Hospital is expensive, but I don't know why they chose to take me there. I think it was an emergency, so they rushed me there and I was just admitted. And years later, one of my dad's friends told me, hey, what do I find, son? Hey, what papa brepa? Mr. Yakubu, make kai power, make you not the kasakra, not agenda, baby. And I said, hey, sir, but I never saw that leaders who don't show emotions during crisis. Yes. So 1 month I was on admission at the hospital. 1 month. And I'm the kind of person who procrastinates. I wasn't studying and he said, I can't grab exams, I'm that kind of person. Hey, make blow the simple. I'll learn and go and blow. And say God or say Satan, there were other plans. 1 month now, medical suyan ako blue. I spent it at the hospital. So at the hospital, I was a Muslim. I would say I wasn't very serious because I was missing prayers even before I got sick. So the difficulty is that now that I am sick, I can't even get out from the bed to go do ablution. There are alternatives that the imams were teaching me. Oh, it doesn't matter. The Quran makes available options. If you can't get up and go and do ablution, what else you need to do? That I was sick, seriously sick, to the extent that my mom sometimes had to spend nights under the bed, the hospital bed, to ensure that at night I don't die. Yes. She would talk to the nurses that we need to be done the whole movie. So when everybody is done, they mop the place. She would sneak back in, put her cloth under my bed and sleep there, and it saved me one night. I was giving blood transfusion and I reacted to it. I was just developing balls in the middle of the night. And she doesn't know what woke her up. She just woke up, saw me developing balls with the blood thing running, and she pulled out the infusion, the transfusion before calling for help. And they said, no, this boy can't take blood. He needs to go the long haul, take tonic and all that, but direct there. And all the tests have been done. You are not supposed to react, but some people are like that. So yes, all this painful experience, I was witnessing it, and I couldn't go and do the ablution. I couldn't stand at the low spot and pray. So I was going through it. One time, my sister came from Accra with 3 friends. One lady, she's late now, and so recipe. She's called Louisa. She comes from a very rich family. I think the father was President Rawlins's doctor, Louisa Tinkrai or something like that. So Dr. Tinkrai was Rawlins's doctor, and the lady was my sister's friend. They came to visit me. I wasn't seeing myself, so I didn't know how lean and sick I was looking. But when that team, my sister and 2 or 3 other friends came, from the interaction I could see on their face that they were scared for me. And they were smiling and joking with me. I said, so after all the laughing and all that, they were leaving. Louisa came back and said, Razak, do you mind if I pray for you? And I said, oh, no problem. So she held my hand and said Christian prayer. And yeah, I was okay. She left. So that also registered. A few more weeks and I was discharged. Me sorry for Paiswa, me 99 years. Me they should have been massaging my legs and forcing me to use them. But they were rather concentrating on typhoid now. You know typhoid can affect your liver. So my eyes had become yellow, a whole lot of problems. So they didn't consider the physio. So you see, the system is better now. Now I couldn't walk. Paralysis happened. So we were trying so many things. Herbalist, whatever. Then I had to go to a herbalist who is also. Yes, that was how desperate my parents were. But I can't say, won't believe it. Hey, you are Muslims, but you say software or herbalist, no war, herbal medication. I didn't have feeling in the leg. If you pinch me, I wouldn't feel it. If you put heat there, I wouldn't feel it. This man, and I was advised at the hospital to always bath hot water. Throughout my life, I always bath hot water. Hospital says me very sushi. I went to this man. I would say, bucket of water, go and take a cold shower. Let me choose you. I knew I couldn't stand it. Me tell me I wanna go. Hey, then I went. Poured the water on me. I was sitting down when the pot was. I think it was my mom. He soon knew when I'm sorry. A book is when I'm sorry at once. I sat back down, the leg was still weak, but at least that shock, I knew it was possible. Then that was the spiritual side. Then the physical side, so you drew the man, said, hey, Akobam, I couldn't feel it. This was some herbs. I didn't know we had herbs that were more powerful than Akobam. So that was what I started using. Again, I went home. It took a lot of time. I wrote SSEE using crutches. So that was not before Tommy. So now the crutches, two there, yes, and I used that for SSE. Papers never. I finished early, not because my answer question, but because I was tired. Me be kind of my brain. Oh, I remember a con's paper. Make sure, sir. I remembered. I had a pop. Sure, sir. Are you sure you are done? I just said I was tired. I think I had a B or a so, and then that was so. I went through all this. When the legs were okay, then I started recounting. And I also, my big sister at a point also got scared. I started crying, lying on the mat when I was still getting better, but now a check, so frustration. So I think she came to talk to me and I said, I was tired. Oh, don't be tired. I didn't I said, honestly, a criminal, right? That's then I said, no. When I get better, not if, when I get better, I would have to do things differently. That's what I told myself. Either I do the Islam very well, or I do something else. Because they're not in TSC. So when I started getting better now, I'm saying no. Looking at what I went through, the Christian prayer at the hospital, there was someone who gave me cold water, the fact that physically I couldn't do the Islamic one, let me try the church one. So I had friends who were Christians, who has heard of Reverend Dr. Nia Modako, Baptist Church. So the daughter was a very good friend. We were in Alliance Francaise together. So I called them. I said, Charlie, Eva, see them sorry to make you. See, at the end of the day. Yes, and then Mikunya Baptist Church there pay my sorry. So then I went there. Then I was reporting to Eva. Eva was my counselor. Eva had a friend called Anita. The two of them were very nice ladies, very fun loving. But hey, he said they cry, sorry, so I found inspiration in them. I kept calling them, no more encouragement. So I went to the pastor one Sunday and I said, I'm sorry, my parents don't know I've been coming to church, but I want to join this church. You say your parents don't know, young man, your parents must know. You can't be sneaking in here. That is a hard conversation I'm having. This man had a hard conversation with me. He said, no, you must honor your father and mother. If they tell you that this is what they want you to do, I won't come and pull you out for you to go get problems in your house. You are always welcome here. But then, that thing about sneaking and all that, you need to stop. So tell them, whatever happens, we'll deal with it. Then he told me a story about, I think he said, I've forgotten the country, but one of those Asian countries. He told me that he had ministered there before. And that place, they were Hindus. If you come to the church must put you up for adoption that Sunday. Because to be goofy. When you sorry, them, for the first time, was as well. When you introduce who we are, or say, sorry, why didn't you coffee? Because when you coffee, they will lynch you. They believe that lynching you would mean that they will go to heaven. Indeed. I want to know be a doctor. So he told me that story. He said, so whatever you think your parents will do to you, you can't compare to what I learned from that country. To what you catch up the BCNC. So my SSE will be train results and then I may call such. So I mastered courage and told my mom about it, and all hell broke loose. Told my dad about it, said not in my house. Then I got admission to Lagos. And I also said I won't go to Lagos. Too close to my house, Ashoma. I can't practice what I want to practice when I'm too close to the house. Every Sunday they will visit me like they did in Presec. So I skipped university for 1 year. The following year got UCC admission. And so that at least I will be thousands of miles away, join the Baptist Student Union, become secretary at the point, drama president, and most importantly, meet my wife. So you see, that's the transition. Yes. And it wasn't easy. And you can never blame parents. Imagine my child comes to me and says, I want to be Buddhist. Yes. It is not, you blame yourself. So I respected what they were feeling, and I still do. And the only thing that has made their pain come down, because they are in pain. I'm the first son. A Muslim family, first son who is supposed to bury your dad. And so now, Islamic wise, I can't go to my dad's corpse. I need a because he was my dad before he became a Muslim. Yes, so that the Muslim now to tell the Christian. So that is how it went. And it's been full of blessings. I always talk about my wedding. My sister is a Hajia. She did the first Bible reading at my wedding. And you were there. When she was called to the stage, I saw the because liturgists know, we'll now call on Hajia Mariam to give us the first one. And it was beautiful. Crowd in Mayafi for the non-Mayafi people. And it was so beautiful. And that has been 4 siblings. We are so tight. Though 2 of us are Christians and 2 are Muslims. Papa, you met my big sister and then Mariam too. So it's been beautiful. Mine might be an exception. Some people don't have it that way. You are disowned, etc. But I thank God I wasn't disowned. And my WhatsApp status for years, it only read favor. What are you coming from? Favor. Yes, it has been favor upon favor. I actually changed it to covenant because I have a strong belief that we decided to say, Papa, we there. I think that is what is happening with me ever since I became Christian. Because it's a good testimony. But for me, from the year 2000 to date, UCC my wife and I at that time were very good friends. Me watch him cry, no, she will have food. So I'll go there. So I don't have a sad story to tell about my school days. Me feast in GI. It never happened. My dad would never allow that thing to happen. Then at work, national service. About 3 months into national service now, the overall boss of the company, through favor, attended a meeting with him. Make us cry me catch the boss, make sure you employ this young man after service. 2-3 months into service. Employment, you can't hold that. But you can't hold anyone say abemu, the impediments, people wanted to steal it and give somebody else. I got the job, but they said, oh, you have an anti-contract. You have 1 year contract. You have 2 years contract. And family. The permanent employment, another Bruni boss, small encounter, they could not speak English, they could speak French. And I know a bit of French. They could show about dinner. If you say, catch a penny for the say, or more profuna, I'll bet you more French. And I be catch a penny, my boss Jim from Mr. Richie. I have a young man here who speaks French. So after everything, he will translate. This woman can say, I said, try. And he hired me. So I had to put on my good game, tissue paper. And then I made a shop. When they were done, I spoke that, I used my small broken French to explain, and the people understood. Again, Bruni Penino or Kache report said, the best promise was we the Juma Co. But what resulted in it was short-term contract. The new Bruni at this incident also made the same promise. But although making promise, that kind of weeks to go, just some few weeks. DIA the send-off. It's never happened before. That man came with a brown envelope with my appointment letter. Yes. The yes send-off is what's his name? That was Marcus. Yes, Razak, I have something for you. Permanent appointment letter. As he promised. So the first one said it, left it in the hands of someone. That person messed it up. The second person said it, not knowing what has happened with the first incident. But that second person thought it to do it himself. Sure. Learning. My career, I was doing maybe not a mining company, but my job was to distribute piglets to community people. And the piglets, sometimes I put them at the back of a pickup, go to Tapa station, I'm driving, there's traffic, normally risk for. And this is a community where my mom is the president of Muslims Women Association. Then I main station now cast then I have to get down and be chasing the piglet. Hey! But learn. So we did that. Tilapia once said I go to work with a nice chest near a fish farming. Then Yenka said I should market the fish. Mine is to supervise the fish farm for the community people there. But I no be unfair. So I got an idea. Maybe Juma, maybe Febina, maybe a whole stores a whole room. And my colleagues are not many of them at the time. Some of them were laughing at me. They were too good, I would have a ton preco. They were too good, I would have a ton fish. Those comments, as I speak, I can't okay, we were 55 years service. I can't Dominic. It was just me, Kwame Ako and Dominic who were left. Kwame Ako recently resigned, so I can't make Dominic pay. 55, Obi says, so that has been it. Training, learning without knowing that I'm learning, then it opens the door. Yes. So that is officer. From officer to superintendent. No, sorry, let me cut it short. Obien himself a chance here be Abdel-Razak department anymore. The other person who can compete for that position, our qualifier is 58 years old. I can't do 2 years mark of pension. Position about. Don't tell me farmer small boy. No, so I apply. It's HR for you now who you know. Abdel-Razak, this thing there, you know, say be your own, but or body team, person body team. Also apply on T. I see the only interview that we say that was it. So Razak would get show application for CV come na interview. The day of the interview, a very good friend at work, senior colleague, Bruniba, Obaya, or say the boyfriend from South Africa restaurant, in Razak, interview near 2 p.m. and about 10. Maybe find a boy don't call a tour of the mine, only mining. I mean, share of what goes on them. We are something called a tour of the Tapa community of a so Ghanaian life. Maybe of Ibano name those. In my mind, I have an interview. But I just said thank you and drove this man on the mine tour. Then community tour. One of the highlights for community tour, the names we give to our shops. That's what they're interested in. A who God is able enterprise. Everything is God. Oh, Razak, let me take a picture of this sign. Would they mind come across your permission? Oh, madam, if I saw a picture, then you give him the chance to do a chat. Oh, there was another. Nipa no here road man in the event said. Jesus opens doors. That's the name of the company. Jesus opens doors enterprise. Me and Coach will do a picture. I was telling him why Ghanaians are religious, how colonialism, and theoretically developing countries, we tend to depend on the supernatural and all that. And he liked the expose. Every year, make a drop in. Oh, Razak, good luck. Gwendolyn tells me you have an interview at 2. Yes. And I'm saying yes, so I do. So good luck. By the way, if you go and it's asked how you are going to manage this young team, the way you are very close with them, you are always playing together, you hang out socially. Now you are becoming their boss. How are you going to ensure that they do the work for you? And then they don't see you as their colleague and then they disrespect you. And I became, yeah. Guess what? That was the first question at the interview. Yes, from the lady, Gwendolyn. And from that question, every other panel member got another question to ask. So there were no new questions. My answer provoked other questions, and it was just that tangent. I got 80%. The HR, it hardly happens that you even know 50%, 40%, about 50%. That interview, the HR, Joe Awala interviewed me. He showed me the results. Razak, if we say I'm not a mother, yes. So another blessing, you see the trajectory, another blessing. And it always comes as they kind of say adversity be and nobody has more adversity. Then you have 2 companies, Tapa and Daman. My more Tapa, I know I'm in the line for progression. It will be at Daman, you know, you say I got 2 years between. So yeah, what happened in himself, Daman. Then my boss comes and says, Razak, you have been transferred to Daman. Daman Subabiku. That didn't have a because then the song dropped in my mind, and that comes to Bernard too. That day was the day you invited me to come and meet Prophet Labijima. Yes. Minya news, I was devastated. Now me catch me, I will resign. Ejuma ni be good 2 years. Before that news, boss now say me call that man. On me one day, maybe no. After that, I'm gonna start saying like nothing. All I'm saying, negative experience. I learned the negative experience from him, and I vowed never to repeat it. When I decided to resign, somebody counseled me. We had a counseling unit. The lady there, they said to 4 parties. So I said, "Do you have a new job?" I said, "No. Never resign from a current job until you have a new one." Another lesson. Never, no matter what. Life is tough. Deal with it. Ladies, can copy so we have for. So I said, "But maybe until who will leave this, I will leave." That's what the woman told me. Then I quickly filled the leave form. I was driving in Papa Town. The Bernard called me. "Hey, we say it's Monday, buy. It was revival. Buy Thursday. It was Wednesday, Thursday. They are bros. And I think it was the same Thursday. So I didn't even go home. And then I'm chroma. My time is so. And I'm calling. Quite I'm cutting out. So I always sit at the back. Teachers are la vigima or any near my consumption for 4-5 minutes. My junior now with man. Then he walked straight to me. "Young man, don't quit the job." I said, "This year, I can't share." Now, when I decided not to quit, to 4-party conversation, I can't show that. So there's no way anyone could have told him, "Don't quit your job." Revival now me. That was it. Then I can't say now. I can't hear my can't be share the family. Yes. And gave me the plan. Don't wait, go, I see you leading this company. And if you're your friend, any Bernard, any another guy, Jerry, see we don't go to kind rough. Then the last time Bernard took a buyer, meaning Namakramon, you push out, I told you, Bernard go Italy by you, and call it. Hey, you come and have them among friends, you really few crowds. This is like 10 years later. Any did a cheaper shop would be here, because the rate was popular. And Jerry to the same thing. Also, the union leader, Bima, or conference, and Bemura and I names are because or shall be him say, "Yeah, they better 6 days to buy." But you man, you understand? So that was it. Then I left the papa and went to that man. That man, it was only good 2 years. So I'm not Moka Chevy when I got there. I worked there for 10 years. And I'm free. Yes. But I say we go 2 years. We call a brony and Abdel-Razak, yes, so I hear. He said the whole body is good, but they can't reinvest in the company, so this. Then I called Gwendolyn. The other interview, and said, "Yeah, but no, that I might need to every day." I said, "Why? Are you not going to head the department?" I said, "Yes." He said, "So, even if you head for 2 days, you add it to your CV that you headed the department. Currently, you are working under someone. Even if you do the job, he's taking the credits for it. So go and head it, let it collapse, come back and look for another job." And also share with crying. I worked there for 10 years, 2013 to 2023. 2022. I'm be redundancy. You can't you be friends or letter already. Somehow my supervisor called me, came to my office and said, "We are going to have some redundancy, something, blah, blah, blah. You are one of our best workers, but due to certain things, you are the one going. Well, we'll pay you entitlements, everything." Still, because I worked for, at that time I was 17 years. Can't make me so I'll use the money for something else. Yeah. Then you got another meeting up there. Human will say foundation it wasn't there, it didn't exist. I say Obi Creative Foundation, and I opposed it. A human foundation, a human community affairs for community affairs. Who bad the chief is saying, and your coach and him and bois. Okana be paid me to me for say I was about to cross the confidence to arrogance. Or say never was Razak, it's okay, drop it. Because I was arguing with my boss. And I said, Razak, be trash. And then this man called me. Razak, the change I want to do will happen. But I also hear you. Everything you said in the meeting, I've heard you. Now I want you to design the structure such that whatever you said would happen, the bad things will never happen. You plan it. Who should be where, how we should do it. They shared this 2 weeks. Me na me the cop no review na my biom sa. At that time, I know I was leaving. See me here to hold now. You better be here or no. My own role is being scrapped. Yeah, they may let me read face and my you. Then they call back and say, foundation now you can't say again. You should go ahead it. Exactly. Oh, in some year, at that time I want to take a form from the bank to take a loan. I mean, they talk. Lamkusa. Let me go talk Prado. And they say, Abdel-Razak Prado, dear, small boys can talk. You know, I remember all those conversations. So I brought the form home to come and sign. They were your son friend, they say, during the redundancy time, your son transferred me to South Africa. And son they buy. They make one to say, "Mommy, 3 months salary." They make banana to say, "Mommy, 3 months salary." Mommy, and this is kind of so. Maybe so be. But this is kind of so proud of the other so I didn't need the loan again. The man for the friend of me asked. But they come home. My brother also supported, and so blessing upon blessing. So from 2023 to now, I've been heading the Go Force Ghana Foundation, a new creation. It's first ever executive secretary. First year at the program, second year. Now it's been not nominated. Award 2025. It was awarded the best foundation in Ghana. MTN Foundation, Weather Foundation, competed the best foundation. My team of 8 people were adjudged the best team in Ghana. Projects I have won awards. Last year, now we have social media. One particular award ceremony, we won 7 awards on the day. When we take one, you understand? So the favor now they cannot know. God just made it easy so that the ease with which it happens will be motivation for others. And it has happened so too. So many people through this testimony and through life seeing of what is happening have also been inspired, and they are also either through school, young people in the community, maybe next meal for some of them are doctors now, some of them are engineers now, working with us, etc. Not just because Go Fields help them, but because of some of these personal stories and inspiration and what God has actually guided us through. And the way it has helped my leadership, integrity. I have a feeling that if I mess up, God will take it all away. Yes. It scares me that said, if I don't stay on the straight and narrow, it will set it here. So it scares me because I know it is not by effort. Assignment, things I've not done before. Now the structure of the foundation, I didn't learn how to set up an NGO. But my go school, to internet, Google, what did you say in Abumwa? So I do it, they review. Now I don't expect my boss to accept this report because I'm a kind. But make sure you know, then I pray, let the favor of God go before me. Let this document, whichever desk it lands on, make sense to whoever is reviewing it. Now then a good comment will come. So it has been effortless. And it keeps happening. So you asked a good question. I've taken too long in explaining, but that is a story. The Christianity has helped me to stay on the straight and narrow. It has also brought very powerful people in my life. The one who calls me at 5 a.m. Bernard is here, Pastor is here, is a prophet is here. As for I mean, he's not okay. So that is it. My personal family life, everything. God has planted powerful people around me. Those who are battling for me, interceding for me. Those who are, and my family as well. Conversion, no, keep it here, but they are alive. As I said, my Muslim siblings, their children celebrate Christmas with me. I have to ensure that even when they are with me, it is not I believe if it's God's plan, it will happen. But I don't take my children, my sister's children, they come to my house and I've let them stop what their parents have taught them. When they come, I'm the one who wakes them up. Hey, have you done your first prayer? Have you done this? Have you done that? And my kids, what Christian will be asking questions, Daddy, why do they pray that way? And it becomes a conversation. Oh, so they are Muslims and we are Christians. They do this, we do that. Oh, that. So that strong family bond. And also, so let me end it here. Any other one, you pay and then I'll come with that.
Okay. Let's celebrate our dear brother. Please stand, yes, as a sign of appreciation and honor. May God bless those who are clapping. If you don't learn how to honor people, you will never be honored. That is how life is. Wow. Mr. Razak, God bless you so much. In fact, we've learned a lot. And then, please sit down, please sit down. I want to touch on two things that he spoke about. The first, please listen. Yesterday, what we did at CI, I told you that we need to live a balanced life. I hope you remember. Okay. So sometimes you might think, sorry, something. Why this leadership thing? I'm talking about stressing on two things. Number one is about hard conversation. You see, when you grow in life or when you are growing, then your eyes begins to open. So when you are young, you can say whatever you want. But when you are growing or you grow to a certain, then you understand the dynamics. Personally, I watch out for those who always say good things about you. Everything you do, they say is good. Be careful of such. You need people that will tell you the truth. Please listen. In this our society, we tend to hail those that are always on our side. Whatever you say, and it's about attitude. Once I know I'm with Razak, anything he does, whether good or bad, it's like Ghanaian politics. Once I'm on NDC, whatever NDC, even if I know it's not good, I have to say it's good. You must prepare your heart in this life to receive hard conversations at certain times. And you too, when there is a need for us to tell you the truth, you have to accept it. Especially when the person is maybe your boss or you depend on the person one way or the other. But I prefer that the truth must be spoken to you. Because I told you yesterday about the program I do, Truth Be Told. I always say that wisdom is not found in only one person. If you are a leader, you might think it doesn't work like that. That is why you have to do review and take feedback from people. So please prepare yourself for hard conversations. As if you are a thing, but you have to. And as if you are a thing, but you have to listen. Then number two, concerning leadership. The society we find ourselves, it has made a lot of people to change the right way of being a good leader. Personally, I believe that if you are a leader, you must be available, or you must be someone that the people around you should be able to come to you easily. But over the years, I also realized that that part has a disadvantage. Because there are some who are not mature enough. The fact that you can talk to them, laugh with them, they take advantage. So when you come to like ministry, you realize that now most of these great men of God, prophets, it's not easy to get to them. It's a strategy. It's not that they are not human beings. Sometimes they need people to talk to. But sometimes when you open your doors too much, people take advantage of you. So now it's a bit dicey. One of maybe my challenges is the way I relate with people. Some people say, Papa, they were too. You see, when you become too hard to, it's also another thing. But we need to understand when you have such a leader, at least know that you shouldn't take advantage of the person. Because if you cannot go to your father easily, then there's something wrong. I'm sure that most of us, we came from families where it was not, you see, you could easily go to your mom, but not your dad. And we all testify that it didn't help us. I remember when I was young, I used to love playing outside football and things. My father, those times, used to use a motorbike. And I knew the sound of the motorbike. So whilst we are playing, when I hear the sound, even if I'm going to score, I have to leave the ball and run and jump over a wall because my dad was coming. As soon as I get home, no, I have to enter the bathhouse because if he comes to see me dirty, he say, I'm going to go. So I will just go. As soon as he entered, and that thing didn't really help some of us. So I learned from it that no, if that is the case, if you want to be a good father, then you should rather open your doors to your children so that they can build some trust in you. But as a child, don't take advantage of that. So I am sure that that is the reason why some leaders behave the way they behave. Because a bit more hard and probably the new be our woman, some people have disrespected them, dishonored them because of that. This is the way they are going now. So I believe that we are learning. We are all learning. Let's try to do the right things. One day you'll be a leader. And there is a problem I have. I think Mr. Razak mentioned it. Sometimes when you are a subordinate, the things you say about leaders, when the subordinate becomes the leader, the person will even do worse. Sometimes I can't think far. Because you know, why is it that this, when I become this, but when you are there, you even do worse. When it comes to this ministry, we are trying to build ourselves. After this training, we must all become good leaders. The one who said, Amen, let it be established. After this, in fact, I've learned a lot. Some of you, when something like this is coming, you take over this leadership, they will know. The notes I've made there, I'm going to use some to collect funds somewhere. I'll go and talk there. Say, hey, this guy. I'm going to talk about the volatile and things. They say, hey, but no things. I'm taking notes. So whatever we are doing here, please take note of, because one day you become a leader. One day, I have no doubt, but you must become a good leader. So the Lord bless you so much for this wonderful session. Please let's appreciate Mr. Razak once again. God bless you so much. So you do the announcement, or you do it? Okay.
So let's clap for Papa to God bless you, Papa. I think it's very powerful. I just thank God that we recorded everything. Because for some of us, it was quite unfortunate. I will not see any notes. It's good we didn't come with Kendall. Remember Kendall? Kendall now. I'm phone. Hey, before your family. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Because I was, sorry. Good morning again. No, how's the family? The family is good on the right time. Okay. Then you have been saved by the bell. Anyway, others also requested. I think you streamed live, so we should. These are very powerful. I've learned a lot myself. Very powerful. especially the ethical influence, is important. Very, very, very important. And so we want to thank you on behalf of the ministry once again. This is the first time we've had you in person, and we believe it will not be the last. It will never be. The next one, you'll be preparing for entrepreneurial aspects for us. He does a lot because we and public speaking as well. So the next one, we want to take it to another level. You see, we want to get to a point where we are not so much dependent on where we work alone, monthly salary and all that. We want to be able to stand alone. So if you are coming, like some of us, permission even to get one day, a whole doctor, pray, you know. At the end, they said, no, you have to attend to some patients. So doc couldn't even come for day one. He had to wait for the 3 holidays before. So we want to get to a point where you are even going to the hospitals and all that. So we'll have that session as well, and you'll be coming. A round of applause for him as well. Thank you so much. And so quick announcement, I'm sure others want to see him after blah, blah, blah. We want to take a group picture outside, very important. Photo, so which area will be okay? This is a memorial picture. Under the tree.
Photo.
Go there. This side will be better. Okay, so we will arrange and then we'll be behind. Announcements. Until I forgot to say a friend member, no, I go to them. Number 2 announcements for the medical outreach. Almost started about the queue has started already. You try about you. Okay, I'll say you know about it. It's a trivia. Papa's the father's blessing. You share temperature now. Or Jamaica now, he didn't mean your program here. It's way. Pardon. Say on behalf of the entire team, we apologize again. It's about the program back was shared. 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. it will be better. We don't want any uninterrupted flow. So we are shifting that. So after the picture, we'll come back, rather have lunch. Or take lunch there. I don't know, just understanding was not coming ready. Oh yeah. Anyway, find out all the way from Volta region, let's appreciate. Find out. So some of these things, we go across various regions before Easter, so it's understandable. It's about medical outreach. I see a boy needing running in a cohort. I started more numbers. I don't want the place to be chaotic. I want to play with all of us. And for a good gym. Now, it really the encore near setting up fine before we come for the lunch. That shouldn't take so much time. Then after the lunch, those of us that are with the medical team, please doc, your nurses, your team, please. Then you move. At the same time, you see a case party. So it's kind of business so possible. You be to it. So we have, I think, 6 canopies. So those in charge of the case party, the canopy should be there.